everybody, and welcome to this special on the summer solstice. So you know me, I go deep, I go in, I do a short version, I go in on a long version. So if you want to know all about the summer solstice from the scientific angle, from the astrological angle, karmic, spiritual, and all that good stuff, then tune in. You're in the right place. If you want to know what the summer solstice means for your particular sun, moon or rising sign, or if you've got most of your planets are in Gemini or most of them are in Scorpio, etc. This is the way I do my reading so it can be universally used. And of course, nothing compensates astrologers such as myself or anyone else you feel comfortable with delving into your natal chart and transits to give you the most personalized planetary overview for you. So yeah, let's jump right in. Without any further ado, this is my very in-depth guide to all things summer solstice. Okay, so what is the summer solstice? Well, it's the longest day of the year in the northern hemisphere, and this marks the beginning of the summer in the northern hemisphere and winter in the southern hemisphere. During this time, the sun is positioned at its furthest point from the earth in the northern hemisphere, and this results in more daylight hours in short. So this year, the summer solstice happens on the 20th of June 2024, and it's exact at 21:51. And also the summer solstice, because the sun goes past the normal declination, which I'm going to talk all about in depth in a bit, but basically the sun is also what we call out of bounds at the time of the solstice as well. So yeah, so why the name the summer solstice? So let me break it down more for you in a way that even sunflowers could understand, So solstice, my dear friends, is a fancy word that comes from Latin. So it comes from the Latin sol for sun and sistiere, I think I'm pronouncing that right, and it means stand still. So the sun stands still, basically. See how simple that was? Okay, so now I suppose you're wondering why even bother celebrating the solstice. Well, in this case, if you are wondering, it's because ancient cultures believe that this was a time of spiritual significance, a time to celebrate life, fertility and abundance. But let's not forget that while the sun may be standing still in the sky, life around us on earth, never stops moving, as we know. So it's a time of growth and rejuvenation, a time to shed old skin and embrace new beginnings. It's also the start of a reaping. If you've already been planting the seeds in the spring and the winter and the seasons beforehand, some of you may harvest, and if you particularly, you've got an allotment, as we call them in England, a garden where you grow, a plot of land where you grow food, or you've got a farm, or if you grow in your own home, wink wink, nudge nudge for some of you, then now is the right time to harvest. So yeah, it's a time to take a cue from nature. Spiritually, it reminds us that although life may not be ideal right now, we can still shine and bloom where we have been planted. So even if you're not where you want to be right now, you can be where you want to be by saying, duck it. It's the other word that begins with F, but I won't swear. So yeah, now is the time. Now is my hour. Time is only going to pass me by. I'm going to start now. So some of you may feel inspired to write your own solar sonnet or dance to your own beat under the solstice moon, or being realistic, do the work you've been putting off for years for some of you, decades for some of you, months for some of you. It's an energy to start now as you mean to go on. So yeah, the possibilities are endless, and when you're living in full bloom, which means that taking daily steps, to continue your lifelong journey of psychological, emotional and spiritual alignment, so you can look after your physical and financial needs as you live out your time on earth. So yeah, in astrology, the summer solstice holds greater significance as it serves as a reminder to appreciate the warmth and light in our lives, and the sun is giving us the warmth here, and focus on cultivating development, more joy and abundance in all areas of our life. So It's a time to embrace the energy of the sun, so whatever your sun sign is, your solar energy, and allow it to nourish your souls, encourages growth and personal development. So let us take a moment to honour the summer solstice and all the blessings that it brings, and kick back as I dig even deeper into this all-inclusive guide of all things summer solstice, as I said before. So now I'm going to tell you everything that you really need to know about the longest day of the year. So the summer solstice is also known as midsummer. It happens once a year. From Stonehenge in the UK to Machu Picchu, ancient civilizations have built monuments to mark the solstice and commemorate its significance. As crops are harvested around the world, people in some regions light bonfires or jump over them to purify and cleanse themselves. Today, in modern times, people still visit these historical sites to mark the occasion and witness and celebrate the summer solstice. Scientifically, the Earth's tilt is at its maximum angle towards the sun during this time. In the Arctic Circle, certain locations experience 24 hours of daylight, while Stonehenge in England aligns with the sun rising directly over the hailstone on this day. For farmers, the summer solstice is a crucial time for harvesting crops. So even still in modern times, the significance of the summer solstice or the equinoxes or the winter solstice even have not diminished, whether it's time for celebration or quiet reflection. The summer solstice remains an important marker of our connection to nature and the cycles of life as human beings. So for 12 hours on the day of the summer solstice, the sun shines directly above the Tropic of Cancer, which is the northernmost part of the Earth. As I said, it marks the longest day and the shortest night of the year, and for those living within the Arctic Circle, in the northern hemisphere, the summer solstice typically happens between the 20th to the 22nd of June each year, while these dates, so the 20th to the 22nd of June, marks the start of the winter solstice in the southern hemispheres. So for people living in the Antarctic Circle in the southern hemisphere, the summer solstice happens between the 20th and 22nd of December, and this is when it's winter solstice in the northern hemisphere. This means that the places located at the latitudes north of the Tropic of Cancer will experience more sunlight than any other day of the year during the summer solstice. The reason why the dates vary between the 20th and the 22nd of June each year is because of the Earth's tilt on its axis. And the reason for this is because the Earth's elliptical orbit around the Sun causes a slight fluctuation change in its orbital speed throughout the year. So, from a scientific, technical perspective, the summer solstice is a result of the Earth's actual tilt of approximately 23.44 degrees, and this is rounded to 23.5 degrees. So the tilt of the sun's axis and the sun's declination play a crucial role in determining the distribution of the sunlight across the planet, influencing seasonal changes and variations in climate patterns. The Earth's maximum actual tilt toward the sun refers to the angle which the Earth's axis is tilted in relation to the sun. So this angle changes throughout the year due to the Earth's orbit around the sun, as I said. So the sun's declination from the celestial equator refers to the position of the sun in relation to the celestial equator, or the imaginary line in the sky marking the Earth's equator projected onto the celestial sphere. So the declination of the sun changes throughout the year as the Earth's orbit around the sun causes the apparent position of the sun to move either north or south of the celestial equator. The movement of the sun significantly affects the seasons we experience on Earth, so spring, summer, fall and winter, and the Earth's actual tilt is responsible for sun's varying rising and setting times in all of the different cities and countries on the Earth's horizon throughout the year. And yeah, for all those who are British like me, I don't know why I call it fall. Fall is of course the autumn. So yeah, as a result of this tilt, the sun's rays hit the northern hemisphere at a more direct angle, leading to longer daylight hours throughout the year as the Earth continues its orbit around the sun. Its various tilts causes the angle at which the sunlight reaches the Earth's surface to change, and this is what leads to the different variations in daylight hours and temperatures. So all in all, during the summer solstice, the tilt of the Earth's axis is at its maximum, allowing the northern hemisphere to experience the longest day of the year and the southern hemisphere the shortest day. And because the Earth's actual tilt and orbit play a crucial role in shaping our seasons and the patterns of sunlight we experience throughout the year, it's good to know this stuff, right? So yeah, the extended period of sunlight kicks off the summer in the northern hemisphere, and knowing this information is good for people that work in all types of fields, whether you're into astronomy or astrology, science, technical fields such as agriculture, energy production and climate patterns, and farmers can take advantage of the longer growing seasons in the summer to maximise crop yields, while solar energy systems can use the abundant sunlight for increased electricity generation. And scientists and research that study the summer solstice can understand the Earth's orbital mechanics more and the effects of the sun's actual tilts on our planet's climate and ecosystems. So yeah. So all in all, the summer solstice is a time when we can finally enjoy some extra sunshine and warmth, and who doesn't love a good dose of vitamin D? But let's be real, the extra sunlight also means we have more time to get ourselves into trouble, and the summer flings and romance and just socialising more, and people tend to want to work less and sometimes come up with invented ways to work less. Say no more, right? So yeah, have fun, and do not pull too many all-nighters, because it's still bright outside at 9 p.m. and then it gets light again by 4 a.m. so it can seem like it's summer, it's daylight, or it can seem like it's summer all day long, so it's time to officially whip out those shorts and then crop tops and all the other summer clothing you wear, even if you haven't hit the gym since the last summer solstice. And who cares if you have a little extra jiggle, because it's hot out there and we all deserve to feel comfortable. Plus it's the perfect time to sew off your new neon green bathing suit that you bought on a whim and probably will never wear again after this summer. So yeah, happy summer solstice, folks. So now I'm going to go into the deeper astrology of the summer solstice and work my way into, the aspects that the sun's making the Sabian symbols that are impacting the summer solstice, as well as all the other planetary things going on. So yeah, in esoteric traditions, the summer solstice is a time for deep reflection and a time to connect with our inner selves, discover hidden truths, explore the mysteries of nature, and embrace the power of the earth, the universe, the galaxy, and so on. The summer solstice happens when the sun is in the constellation of Gemini, currently in Vedic constellational astrology, which all my astrology that I interpret is based on. So yeah, the sun is in the constellation of Gemini, the twins, which Mercury rules, mutable air energy. The twin nature of Gemini encourages us to explore both sides of ourselves, the light and the dark, the yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine, and find harmony within ourselves. So, as I said, Gemini, is an air sign associated with communication, intellectual goals, pursuits, work, flexibility, and when the sun is in Gemini during the summer solstice, there's a heightened focus on social connections, networking, and exchanging ideas. It's a good energy to read, to learn, to teach, to explore different hobbies, and we may want to be, constantly changing our scenery, the people in our scenery. We can be more vague and more irresponsible under this energy. and we can want to gossip more. But the key, if you really want to use this energy correctly, is to channel your increased need for communication into a creative project, so it's not just wasted in idle gossipy chatter. So yes, summer solstice, good time for engaging in discussions, learning and expanding our knowledge, being more versatile and adaptable in our interactions with others and our decision making processes. The energy of Gemini during the summer solstice can just make us really focus on gaining more knowledge, especially about ourselves, and helping us with our personal growth. And this year the summer solstice is in the 6th degree of Gemini. So the Sabian symbology for the summer solstice this year is the dentist displays deep concentration as they drill a tooth for the benefit of a class of dental students, tuning out the reactions of both the crowd and the patient. So it signifies a time for intense focus and dedications towards a specific goal or task, and it suggests that despite distractions or outside influences, maintaining unwavering concentration is key to achieving success. So just like the dentist in the symbol who disregards external reactions to perform a precise procedure, this period may require meticulous, careful attention to detail and the ability to block out distractions in order to make significant progress. So the image of a dentist drilling a tooth may symbolise the need for us to dig deep into a situation, perhaps uncovering hidden truths or addressing, underlying issues such as our self-destructive thoughts, habits, toxic relationships, our addictions to drugs, alcohol, sex, hooking up, gaming, binging, whatever it is that you do in excess that cuts you off from feeling the richness of life, dealing with those psychological, emotional and spiritual traumas that stop you from, getting on. And I know it can be hard after heartbreak. Heartbreak is terrible. It's nearly killed me, I know it's hard when people hurt you or when you hurt someone as well, because I believe as time goes on, we have all played our role. And I know some of you actually are saints. I'm not going to lie, some of you are really good, what I call salt of the earth types, and you keep on having people genuinely take advantage of you. And what I want to say to you is that in life, we can't change other people. In order not to change yourself, it's good that you like to give. You just need to find to give in the right ways. And sometimes, especially with people that like to take, because just like you like to give, there's people who like to take, right? So you may have to distance yourself from the takers so you can, come back in alignment with your true self and make progress in your self-evolution and things. The symbology of the dentist concentration represents, the need for delayed gratification. You may have the money in the bank, you may have the time and resources to spend 24 hours a day gaming for the rest of your life, but at the end of your life, a lot of you, sorry, I don't want to, I game myself, and I don't do it 24/7, because if I did, then I wouldn't be able to do the things that actually, make me progress and pay the bills in life and stuff. But what I'm trying to say is you have to start thinking, only because I can do a thing doesn't mean that I should do a thing. You can play the field all your life. You could waste all your money, never saving a penny and just care about the moment. But believe me, there will come a time in your life when you may think you should have done things a bit different. So be adventurous, have fun, but also build or continue to build that ability to delay your gratification, because believe me, this is one of the biggest ways to success as well as hard work. So also the idea of transformation and renewal, because drilling is often associated with removing decay to pave the way for healing or growth or just less rotting, because sometimes the dentist can't save the tooth. All it can do is drill out the decay, and but at least you still got some of your tooth rather than losing all your teeth. So it's best. Also in the symbology day of the dentist drilling, the presence of dental students observing what he's doing highlights the importance of sharing knowledge and learning from others at this time. Working with others seeking out mentorship can play a crucial role in your journey towards achieving desired outcomes, and some of us have mentors in real life. A lot of mine has actually been from old books and audio and stuff I've searched out and watched online and stuff. So it's about finding out the right tools for you to help you be the best you want to be. So just like the dental students benefit from observing the dentist's expertise, you may find value in seeking out guidance or insights from those who have experience in your field at this time. And by embracing the tools of focus and dedication and hard work and getting back up after each failure, and knowing that by refining, honing, improving your skills over your lifetime and mastering your craft with precision, you are laying the foundation for future success. So like the summer solstice in the 6th degree of Gemini, let this time be a beacon guiding you towards unwavering concentration and transformative growth. And the idea with solstices and equinoxes is to take you right up into the next one. So over the next 12 months, what can you do to improve your life day in, day out? So now I'm just going to talk about the positives, negatives, the spiritual and psychological meanings of the sun in the 6th degree of Gemini. So positively, it can help us have more clarity of thought and increase our communication skills. As I said, think of it as having the gift of the gab, being able to articulate your thoughts with more finesse and charm, have more swagger, and you can be like a smooth talking salesperson, sealing a deal effortlessly as you embrace change. But negatively, it can stir up deep feelings of restlessness and indecision. Similar to a child in a candy store faced with endless choices, you may find yourself overwhelmed by the multitude of options and directions available. This can lead to a sense of confusion and inner turmoil. So the best use of this transit lies in using its energy for intellectual pursuits and creative plans. It's a perfect time to engage in stimulating conversations, write that novel you've been putting off, and dig deep into your academic studies with renewed passion. So on the practical level, it's a great time for gardening. The longest day of the year, marked by the sun reaching its highest point in the sky, provides ample sunlight and warmth for plants to thrive. This extended daylight period allows plants to undergo photosynthesis for longer, and this will, increase, then start to slightly decrease as we go into the autumn. So it promotes healthier growth and abundant yields, harvests. Additionally, the increased heat during the summer solstice and after accelerates the germination of seeds and the maturation of fruits and vegetables. So it's an ideal time to sow seeds, transplant seedlings, and tend to your garden and harvest, taking advantage of the optimal growing conditions. The longer days and favourable weather can make it easier to maintain and care for your plants, ensuring a beautiful and rewarding gardening experience during this time. But don't forget to water, because plant life can change real quick. So further on the spiritual esoteric level, a lot of pagan rituals are done during the summer solstice, and other rituals as well. Each culture has its own variation. So pagan traditions view the solstice as a time of increased spiritual energy and the celebration of the sun's power and life-giving qualities. During this time, individuals can partake in various rituals to honour nature, fertility and the circles of life. These rituals often involve bonfires, dance, meditation and the gathering of herbs and flowers. Pagan communities come together to create sacred spaces connecting with the earth's energies and seeking spiritual renewal. The summer solstice offers a profound opportunity for individuals to delve into their spiritual selves, connect with ancient wisdom and align themselves with the natural rhythms of the universe. On the psychological level, it symbolises a tipping point between light and darkness, both in the external world and within our inner worlds, our inner selves. It's a reminder to evaluate our own lives and find equilibrium, the balance between the different aspects of our being. It is an opportunity for personal growth and transformation as we reflect on the past and embrace the potential for positive change in the future. Just as the sun reaches its peak and begins its descent, we too can use this time to shed old patterns, release negative energies, and invite new changes and energies and vibrations and beginnings into our life. On the creative symbolic level, it reminds us to let go and reminds us that the power and the vitality that comes from bringing new into our life, letting go of our past, getting outside of our comfort zones and relationships and thought patterns and habits. This can help us nourish ourselves and embrace our own inner light, nurture our dreams and goals, and cultivate personal growth and development, feeling more inspired to transform ourselves and be creative. Emotionally, it serves as a reminder of the continuous cycles of nature, and we are encouraged to let go of anything that no longer serves us, be open to new perspectives, and to embrace being vulnerable, being open to understanding our emotional and psychological and spiritual sides of our personalities, managing our weaknesses and strengths. In the realm of worldly materialistic matters, it brings a big focus on communication and learning. Just as the dentist, diligently drills a tooth for the benefit of the dental students and to show his skill as well. It inspires us to increase our skills and our knowledge so that we can become more successful in the areas we want to be successful in, especially in terms of our career or financial goals. Socially and collectively, it reminds us to remain focused on our goals despite external influences or other people's opinions. Much like the dentist tuning out reactions from the crowd and the patient, you may need to block out the necessary noise or negativity to stay on course towards reaching your social ambitions or collective plans that you may have. On the personal level, it wants us to, really think about paying attention to detail, knowing that it's the things that we do daily that determines who we become. So, thinking about changing your daily habits so they can be more in aligning for you to, bring in the biggest harvests that you can. So now I'm going to talk about the karma, the karmic lessons, and the past life implications. So we may find ourselves drawn into situations that require attention to detail and dedication, as I said, and to stay focused while, everything's kicking off. Just think of the worst things that could happen in your life. Your partner leaves you, someone dies, and I'm not being blasé about it. You lose your finances, you lose your home, you have nothing, you're literally at ground, rock, bottom, zero. What are you going to do? Yeah, you could just say, I'm going to stay there. Or how can you take that mud, that grit, them tears, those fears, those screams of torment, that inner turmoil, and use them to really, really, spare you one and create a better life for yourself. So karmically, past lives where we may have worked in, fields of communication or learning may come to our mind. Staying focused amongst the chaos, whether it be the crowd or your own internal doubt stopping you to keep on going even when your own self is saying, no, you can't do it. When I started this podcast, I was like, no, I can't do it. But I proved to myself that I can. So sometimes you have to throw yourself in at the deep end, knowing that you swap and change. I'm swapping and changing this all the time, getting better, refining as I go on, learning what works and don't work. It's all the process. Sometimes we have to just start. We can't always have all the knowledge as we start. It will come. So now is the time for, and it's potent energy that shows us that we are allowed to be the best us that we want to be. Also lifetimes where you was a mentor, where you may have imparted knowledge to learners with unwavering focus may come to your mind. So those of you who's like, oh no, I can't do that, well maybe in past lives you could, so these memories may surface, giving you that extra push to be like, I can do it. So yeah, in your past lives you could have been entrusted with important roles that required you to maintain composure, maybe a doctor, surgeon, anything else in the medical field really, high risk banking and stuff like that, and you were expected to deliver results without being swayed by external pressures. Or maybe that's your role in this lifetime too, and maybe just being gentle with yourself and be respectful, because you can stand firm in your own convictions and be stubborn, and do your own research and not listen to anyone else. But you can also be kind to other people. That you don't have to be egotistical with your own sense of self, but also on the flip side, you shouldn't be anxious and full of doubt in your self-expression as well. So it's about finding that balance between being sure, believing in yourself, and also respecting other people as well. As to say, you can kind of tell a lot about a person by how they treat people that work on the tills in supermarkets, who clean the streets and stuff like that as well. So yeah, we may also find ourselves more drawn to professions or roles that demand a more sharper intellect, effective communication skills, and a keen eye for detail as well. And we may also find ourselves excelling or finding that we want to change careers over the next year into research or teaching, or any field that requires more specialised knowledge and expertise. So yeah, the karmic lessons that come here remind us that true power lies in the ability to remain centred in ourselves, in our own sense of self. And to do this, we have to forgive our past mistakes, learn to love ourselves, accept ourselves, be self-aware, forgive ourselves and others, and just commit to a lifetime management. And really, it may sound like a lot of hard work, sad work, inner work on self-management and all of that is, but believe me, it's so much better than just being moved by every opinion of other people, or every heartbreak or setback, because people can be jerks. And if you're going to be set into the rhythm of moving with every social event and life event, then you're going to be in for a crappy lifestyle. And how do I know that? Because that used to be my life. And not saying it's 100% gone, but I would no way put any other human being before myself, except for the collective, the collective before myself, yes, but not to say, oh, because I love you, I'm going to let you walk all over me. No, never. And I know it's hard. We can go into coercive relationships and all of that. And if you are in one of them, I'm not saying that it's putting you down. I've been there too, but what I'm trying to say, this is why it's so important, I believe, at the beginning of meeting anyone, to get to know them properly and not to fall into love and romance and stuff. Because a lot of the time we project our feelings onto others, thinking they're feeling them too, and we get ourselves in a mess. And before we know it, we have messed up, blew up our whole life. So with the summer solstice, we can start repairing our life force energy and our mindset, and get our psychological, emotional and spiritual health back in balance, and share the wisdom eventually of us doing that with others and helping them with their growth and evolution. And this is how we allow collective growth and evolution as well. So yeah, it allows us to be more clear, precise in our communication, expressing ourselves more authentically, and just as the dentist meticulously drills for the benefit of future dentists, we can cultivate dedication and concentration in all of our plans, paving the way for growth and development in this lifetime and beyond by learning our karmic lessons. So yeah, that's the end of the karma of the summer solstice. So now I'm going to talk more about the aspects that the sun makes at the time of the summer solstice this year, and more about the other Sabian symbols, as well as the 6th degree that I just mentioned as well. So the first aspect is the sun making a conjunction to Mercury. This is separating, so it's not really strongly affecting us, but it's still there. So the sun represents our core identity, vitality and self-expression, and Mercury represents our communication styles, mindset and ability to gather and process information. So it again supports us learning and communicating things, being mentally flexible, studying, engaging in meaningful conversations, gathering information, having more self-confidence and boosting creative expression, and allowing us to just be more sort of like standing up for ourselves, having more conviction and getting our ideas and thoughts across articulately so people can understand us better, allowing us to, speak our truths. The Sun also makes a conjunction to Venus, and this is also separating, and this allows us to focus on our relationships, especially the one that we should be having over a lifespan with our own selves. It can bring a sense of harmony and balance to our personal and romantic connections. It also allows us to appreciate beauty, but negatively it can make us overindulgent and self-centered in matters of love and relationships as well. So it's essential to maintain a balance and avoid becoming too focused on our own desires and neglecting the needs of others as well. And just being mindful of others' needs, and what we really want from life, and going about the right ways of doing things or ending things. Some of you may want to end a relationship. There's right and wrong ways to do something, and that doesn't mean you're responsible. I don't want to say that. This doesn't mean, because play your role right. If you're going to end something, try and do it in the best way, properly. And even sometimes when we have the best intentions, the other person still ends up hurt. But I believe there are ways we can do things what will reduce the pain. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, the Sun also makes a square to Neptune. So this is a dynamic interplay, kind of complex between, the Sun's vitality and Neptune's influence of imagination, escapism, and spirituality. So positively, it can increase our intuition and creative abilities, as it allows us to tap into our subconscious mind and explore the deeper levels of spirituality and mysticism. It encourages us to embrace our dreams and, supports us with feeling inspired and being creative and artistic. But negatively, as with all Neptune energy, can make us run to our illusions. So whether this be drugs, alcohol, excessive Netflix and chilling, or anything else that takes us away from meeting our responsibilities right now. We may want to be lied to, manipulated as well, or we may just feel confused or want to fall into illusion because of our drug use or other intoxicating substance use. So all in all, this energy can make it difficult for us to see throughout the summer, and it can blur the boundaries and bring a lack of clarity in our goals and intentions. So it's important to be cautious of escapism tendencies towards self-deception, putting yourself down, being deceived by others, deceiving others, and try and strive for a balance between using your imagination, taking time out, exploring the dreamy realms, but also make sure you stay grounded while exploring the more ethereal aspects of life. I am a big talker on how important it is to stay grounded and make sure you're ready when you are sort of like exploring the psychic realms, So by maintaining a realistic view and seeking clarity, you can navigate the potential pitfalls of these energies. And also, you forgot about this one, the Sun makes a quincunx to Pluto. So yeah, it allows us to transform, to change, to go deep, and it allows for personal empowerment and deep inner growth. It challenges us and supports us in confronting our fears and breaking through limitations and embracing our personal power. It encourages us to transform and evolve at a profound, deep level, supporting us in being more authentic and getting rid of old patterns that are holding us back. And with quincunx energy, it wants us to adjust, normally just between one way of being and another way of being, So this here, it wants us to adjust between our, Sun and using our Sun and our Pluto energy, and they both can be quite powerful energies. So it can create negatively power struggles, a sense of powerlessness and manipulation in relationships and situations. So we have to just be careful of how we navigate power dynamics in relationships at this time. not being overly dominant or allowing ourselves to be manipulated, and walked over, for we are not doormats. And it's crucial to approach conflicts with integrity and seek mutually beneficial solutions. And it's important to learn how to assert yourself effectively while respecting the boundaries and needs of others. And the Sun also makes a sister square to the midheaven. This is applying energy, so it supports us with going after what we really want and gaining recognition and being more determined in going after our chosen plans. It pushes us to go for excellence, to seek expertise, to learn new things, to not just, talk the talk, but walk the walk, and it just allows us to be more motivated, more ambitious, especially when it comes to our careers. Some of you may think, I'm going to go for it, set up that business, I'm only this age once, now is the time, it's now or never kind of energy. Negatively, it can make us restless and discontent, but this is only if our true purpose and values are not aligned with who we are. So even though it can be frustrating and we can feel that we're stuck in our career, some of you may decide to leave straight away. Some of you, it may be best not to burn your house down, even though this can urge you, but to make a slow and steady plan. Whether it be watching videos online after work, reading books, teaching yourself things, actually going to school, making a plan on how you are going to, be where you want to be in 3 years' time, 5 years' time, 10 years' time, 15 years' time. So yeah, it allows us to stay focused and disciplined in going after our goals, allowing us to be driven by genuine passions and purpose, allowing us to reassess our career paths to make the necessary changes and find ways to infuse more meaning and balance and happiness into our professional lives. Because for some of you, you don't need to change jobs, you just need to get more happier in the job that you already are. So overall, the Sun semi-square to the midheaven just allows us to be more authentic and focus on what's going to bring us happiness over the next 12 months. Also, at the time of the summer solstice, we have a stellium. So a stellium in astrology is a cluster of 3 or more planets in a single zodiac sign, house, or within a 10-degree orb, that amplifies the energy of that sign or house. So it can bring a sort of strong emphasis on the traits of that particular house or that zodiac sign. So positively, stelliums can increase our focus and intensity in the areas that it rules, so the zodiac sign it is in and the house it's in. But negatively, stellium energy, because it's intense, can be overwhelming. We can feel restricted because we've just got too much Gemini energy or Libra energy or wherever the stellium is, so it can create a sense of tunnel vision where we may struggle to see beyond the strong influence of the clustered planets. So at the time of this summer solstice, there's a stellium involving the Sun, Mercury and Chiron in Gemini. So as I said, Gemini is an air sign. So this stellium sort of allows us to intensely heal the way we communicate and learn things. So maybe when you was younger, you was told you can't learn this or that, you can never be better than what you are. This energy gives us the power of self-belief in our communication and everything that is associated with the 3rd house in astrology. The Sun and Chiron is in the 6th house, Mercury is in the 7th house, but they're all in Gemini at the time of the summer solstice. So yeah, 3rd house energy, Gemini energy, at the most positive end, allows us to make the right decisions at the right time. The 6th house is, it wants us, this stellium, to focus on changing our day-to-day routine, because it's our day-to-day routines, from our eating, our hygiene, our work routine, every routine going that determines the outcome of our life. And also the 7th house is our relationships, so looking at how our relationship with ourselves and others affect our quality of life or improve it, or how we need to balance these areas more, our personal daily routines and our need for companionship, balance that so we can live in alignment with our true selves. But the negatives of this stellium is that it can just make us experience, information overload, be scattered in our thoughts, and we can find it challenging to focus on our tasks at this time. So it's essential for individuals to practice mindfulness and grounding techniques during the summer solstice to maintain balance and, find it even amongst the, mental buzz and chaos of people and life and all the rest of it as well. So now I'm going to talk more about the Sabian degrees that are influencing this summer solstice. So I already mentioned that the Sun is in the 6th degree of Gemini, and this rules the lower left pulmonary lobe in the human body and has the Sabian symbology of a dentist, displays deep concentration as he drills for a tooth for the benefit of a class of dental students, tuning out the reactions of both the crowd and the patient. Pluto is in the 8th degree of Capricorn, and it rules the lymph vessels of the knee in the human body and has the Sabian symbol. A yellow canary trills, sings happily in its sunlit cage. Noticing that the cage door is open, it ventures out into the world but returns as soon as the light begins to fail. And the midhaven is in the 21st degree of Libra, which rules the renal hilum in the human body. So the Sabian symbol is at a public beach, a crowd is engaged in a rowdy tug of war. Cheers and taunts arise as a local tough person joins one of the teams. So yeah, the Sun in the 6th degree of Gemini said a lot about it, so I'll just, I won't go as in depth. So we all know it's about imparting knowledge and skills, or gaining knowledge and skills that can lead to significant growth and development. It wants us to have a deep understanding and gain mastery in our career or educational or spiritual kind of goals. On the flip side, it can show the ways that we can feel isolated and detached from our emotional reactions, and showing us the challenges that we can have with connecting empathetically with ourselves and others. Pluto in the 8th degree of Capricorn, it speaks of, supports that we have more of a desire for freedom during, the coming 3 months and beyond. And with this freedom, there can also be a tendency to retreat back into safety. So, bold in the summer and spring, and then winter and autumn it may not be, or the times when we feel confident in our lives and then we don't, or we'll get into a relationship or something else that distracts us. So this symbology of the yellow canary leaving the cage and going back symbolises a need to find a balance between curiosity and security. Being curious is good, but too much of that, nope. Being secure is good, but too much of that stops us from being curious. So we need to find that balance, and it encourages us to make a gradual and steady, mindful approach to stepping outside of our comfort zones and inviting new into our life. Libra, it's got the Sabian symbology of the crowd tugging as they're in a tug of war. And if you don't know what one of those is, you've got two people opposite side of the rope, and the one side's trying to pull it to them and the other side's trying to pull it to them. So it reminds us of the push and pull energy in our professional matters, where alliances and confrontations play a significant role in career progression. Because a lot of the times, we have to go for promotions, and when we're going through promotions, even though I don't think it's completely right, but we kind of have to compete with other people. So it's about putting our best leg forward and knowing sometimes we can have the talent and not get there, but we don't need to complain about it. If you work at one office and they don't see your talent, move to another, get yourself out of your comfort zone. Maybe for you, you're meant to get to where you need to get to in your life, but the location where you are at now, and this is when, locational astrology comes in handy, is not the best for you to grow in the ways you need to grow, so sometimes a change can do us good. So now I'm just going to talk more about the physical, holistic, social, collective meanings, and the psychological, spiritual and esoteric occult meanings of the Sabian degrees. So the Sun at the time of the solstice is in the 6th degree of Gemini, and from the physical standpoint, this degree is associated with the lower left pulmonary lobe in the human body. So it wants us to take care, shines the light on us taking care of our respiratory health of our, throat, our ears, our nose and throat and stuff like that. Metaphorically, it reminds us of the need for dedication and to remain undistracted as we go after we want, and building ourselves to be unaffected by external reactions or pressures. On the deeper level, the psychological and spiritual interpretations reminds us of the importance of keep on going, persevering after each failure, how to make ourselves more resilient after each heartbreak, setback, failure and stuff like that, and the willingness to endure discomfort or delay our gratification and overcome the challenges that come up, so that we can keep on growing and learning. On the esoteric occult level, it wants us to remember the idea of channeling all of our energy and effort towards our specific tasks or goals, while disregarding distractions along the way can, make our dreams come true, as well as achieving higher levels of being in the world. So yeah, Pluto is in the 8th degree of Capricorn. So this influences the lymphatic system, and its function is to, sort of like look after the circulation and detoxification in our bodies. So it's very, very important, as is every single function of our human bodies, but yeah. And of course our knees are very important, as is all parts of our legs, but the knees are very important because if we have knee problems we'll find it harder to walk and stuff. So just looking after our whole body is important. And symbolically, the yellow canary bird trilling wants us to, on the deeper levels, explore our personal boundaries and recognise the interplay between light and dark, our yin and yang, our masculine and feminine energies, and the need for them to be expressed in one way or the other, but in healthy ways, especially when we get to emotions like aggression. We've all got it in, even if some have more aggression than others, and it's about channeling our fears and our doubts into positive actions and thoughts and behaviours. So yeah, and ways of relating to ourselves and others. So the midheaven is in the 21st degree of Libra, which rules the venal helium in the human body, which is involved with the kidneys and their function. And this reminds us of the energetic connection to the renal system and the need to pay attention to our kidney health. So eating foods, doing exercises and sleeping well and all of that, and finding that balance and avoiding burnout so we can maintain the health of our kidneys. Symbolically, it reminds us of the constant push and pull in social interactions, tugging at the rope, tugging at the popularity and likes, and just the push that can come from relationships that are not right for you, that are toxic for you. Yes, or relationships have conflicts, we have our down times, but how each couple addresses them and deal with them is the line between a toxic relationship and a healthy relationship. In a healthy relationship, we should be able to tell our partner everything. That's what differentiates them, right, from all the other human beings who we feel like we may not be able to say some things or that to our partners. That's what they're meant to be. They're meant to be our teammate. They're meant to love and nurture us. We're meant to love and nurture them and help them reach their individual goals, and they do the same for us, and we have couple goals and we work together to meet them and so forth. So it wants us to be aware of the competitive and competition that the world pushes us into, and what we can push ourselves into in our relationship, and the challenges that this brings, and reminding us of the need to find balance and harmony in partnerships. Some people like to compete together, but even that can be done in healthy ways. So yeah, on the deeper level, the midheaven in the 21st degree Libra at the time of the summer solstice just reminds us of the inner struggle between maintaining individuality and engaging in collective efforts, as well as the importance of being assertive, standing up for ourselves in social situations and allowing each of us to do the same. So okay, as I said, this is an all-inclusive guide. So now I'm going to talk about some more geeky, sciencey facts about the summer solstice. Then I'm going to talk about what it means for the 12 zodiac signs. Then I'm going to talk about more about the mythology and how it's celebrated across the world. Some questions that you can ask yourself during the solstice and what rituals you could do as well. So it's a full holistic guide to help you manage solstice energy. So yeah, as I said, for as long as human history can tell, as the year's longest day approaches, excitement builds for many cultures and traditions, whether it be like a more religious, philosophical or spiritual traditions, pagan traditions that celebrate the summer solstice all in their own different way. Yeah, there are, similarities between how people celebrate, but they all have their different sort of slant on it. So yeah, across various civilizations have celebrated the summer solstice as a time of abundance and renewal for thousands of years, from the ancient Druids to, Hinduism's International Day of Yoga that's done on the solstice. So while some use this energy to stay active and productive, to dance, to sing, others see the summer solstice as a time for manifestation and transformation that's associated with the element of fire. So it's about burning, cleansing your space, your inner you, your life, looking at every area and seeing where you can get rid of the waste. So yeah, typically day to day, as the Earth orbits the sun's position in the sky moves either northward or southward. Additionally, because the sun's path, trajectory, its route in the sky changes height and altitude throughout the year. So this path of the sun is called the sun's altitude, and the sun's position in the sky and its height change based on the time of day and the location. So whether we're in, Europe or the Caribbean, depending on the location of the observer, how far or away or near the Earth it appears is different. So yeah, after the summer solstice, the sun changes its path and it appears to be moving in the opposite reverse direction. So over the course of the year, the sun moves in the figure of 8, so the number 8, but on its side pattern, which is also known as a analemma. So ANALEMMA. So yeah, so it's important to note that the sun itself remains stationary except for its orbit around the Milky Way. So now I'm going to talk more about the Milky Way and the elliptical orbit. So the Milky Way is a heck of a galaxy with billions of stars and a diameter of about 1,000 light years. This Milky Way is not messing around. Although some experts have said that the Milky Way can be as much as 200,000 light years away. So yeah, so the Milky Way is estimated to have a mass of about 1 trillion times that of the Sun. It's also part of an exclusive club called the Local Group. So think of it like a VIP section which includes other galaxies like Andromeda and dozens of smaller galaxies, but the Milky Way is kind of like the king of galaxies that we are aware of currently. So as we look up into the sky, it can have a stunning appearance because it's got like bands of stars and gas that gives us something to look up at and just go wow. It also has a lot of nebulae, star clusters and black holes. And yeah, if that wasn't cool enough, our solar system, Earth and everything around it calls the Milky Way its own. We are located in the outer reaches of the Milky Way galaxy, about 25,000 light years away from its sky-Atlantic centre. which may sound far away, but in astronomical terms it's like we're just next door neighbours, you know. So by studying the Milky Way, astronomers can gain a better understanding of the universe as a whole, kind of like how eating a Milky Way candy bar gives you a better understanding of how delicious the actual Milky Way chocolate can actually be, if you are from the UK, or nougat and caramel if you're from the States, or whatever your favourite chocolate is. So yeah, a little joke there, I try. So yeah, the sun, along with all the planets in our solar system, orbit around a celestial body called the galactic centre. The centre of the Milky Way galaxy is located approximately 25 to 26,000 light years away from Earth, and the sun and other planets take around 225 to 250 million years to complete its orbit around it. So after many reincarnations, if you believe in reincarnation, or after many generations of people being born. So yeah, if you don't. So it's important to remember that the sun appears to move across the sky due to its rotation on its own axis. So it's actually just rotating on its own sort of like area, and because the Earth's rotation around the sun as well, so this is what gives the appearance of movement. Nevertheless, still, it's not an illusion that the sun's moving, but rather a result of the relative motions of the Earth and the sun. So yeah, the sun stays stationary but appears to move because of our perspective on Earth changes as the Earth rotates around it. So in summary, each day the sun rises in the east, moves across the sky and sets in the west. As the seasons change, the sun's height will also change as the Earth's axis tilts towards or away from the sun. And events like the Summer Solstice offer a constant reminder of Earth's dynamic relationship with the sun and the ever-changing nature of our planet's position in the solar system. So, an ecliptic orbit is like a cosmic dance between two objects in space. Imagine two celestial bodies moving around each other, but instead of a smooth and circular motion, they are waltzing, dancing, in sync to an elongated and non-circular beat. So this dance, what I just described, is what we call an elliptic orbit. So the gravitational pull of the central body determines the shape of this path, and while the object's speed controls how far it swings out in its cosmic tango, its beautiful dance can go on for eons, as long as the two objects don't trip over each other's feet or crash into oblivion. So just, they're narrowly missing each other at stages, but it looks sort of like a wonder as we stargaze into the mysteries of space and realise that the universe has a sense of rhythm and movement. So in summary, elliptic orbit is a type of orbit that is not circle but rather oval sort of shape, and it's characterised by two foci, which are 2 points or planets in this case, Earth and Sun, on the orbit that the object always approaches but never touches. The distance between the foci is often called the major axis, and the distance from the foci or planet or luminary, because the sun's a luminary, not a planet, to the centre of the orbit is called the minor axis. So elliptical orbits are commonly found in the solar system and are used to describe the motion of planets or luminaries and other, celestial bodies. So yeah, also at the time of the summer solstice, because the sun goes over its declination, its normal declination, which is over 23.44, rounded up to 23.5. So yeah, the sun goes beyond the imaginary line and beyond the ecliptic that marks the sun's path in the sky. So on summer solstice, the sun goes out of bounds for 12 hours. And when a planet is out of bounds, it's considered to be outside of its normal range of expression and can behave unpredictably. So out of bound planets bring heightened energy, and because we're talking about the sun here, there can be a strong drive towards individuality and self-expression, and that's what it wants us to do. The summer solstice is to look at our life, but because it's out of bounds, we can do it in drastic ways. So as I said, it's best to slow and steadily plan all the changes you need in your life. But for some of you, you will have to burn your house down, burn your comfort zone down, just to ensure that you will make the changes. So yeah, figure out how to use this energy best for you. So yeah, although when a planet is out of bounds, it can make us go towards extremes and cause relationships and emotional stability challenges, leading to challenges in maintaining relationships and emotional stability because of our extreme words and behaviours that can come up. But positively, as I said, it can bring the tension we've been hiding out to the surface, whether it be our own repressed tension about our own thoughts and our self-destructive behaviour and thoughts, or whether it be a situation or relationship that you've been wanting to change but scared to change for a while. So yeah, so that's the end of the geeky facts about the summer solstice. So key points to remember: the summer solstice marks the beginning of the summer and is the moment when the sun reaches its highest peak in the sky at noon. Due to the fact that the Earth's axis is tilted towards the sun, the amount of daylight we experience on summer solstice is longer than any other day of the year. However, on the flip side, this also means that night will be shorter than any other night of the year. In some locations, such as the Arctic Circle, there may not be any night during the summer solstice. Following the summer solstice, the sun appears to alter its course and travel in the opposite direction in that figure 8 way, as I told you before. And this apparent reversal of the sun's path starts on the summer solstice and happens at the same time each day, but the time obviously varies depending on your location. And this stays the case until the winter solstice, when the sun's path changes direction again. This is why it's said that the sun's path throughout the year takes on an alamimus shape, resembling a flattened 8 figure, as I said, as the sun goes one way and then turns back on itself, resembling the number. So it's crucial to note that the sun's position remains unchanged except for its orbit around the Milky Way galaxy, and the change in position that we perceive on Earth is due to our planet's actual tilt as it revolves around the sun, coupled with its elliptic orbit. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about how each sun, moon and rising sign are affected during the summer solstice, because the sun is moving through all the different houses. So because the solstice happens in Gemini, the sun is in the first house of Gemini, and then because we go in the opposite direction, then the sun is in the second house of Taurus, the third house of Aries, and so on. So also, for example, if you have a chart where you've got, say, a lot of Gemini placement, say 3 to 4 luminaries and planets in there, and a lot of Scorpio planets as well, maybe a rising in Taurus as well, I would suggest you read what I wrote for Gemini, Scorpio and Taurus. So yeah, just an example. So first, as I said, the sun's in the first house of Gemini, sun, moon and rising at the time of the summer solstice. So this wants you to, allows you to have an increase in the need for your self-expression, and the summer solstice energy gives you the vitality and energy to focus on your personal growth. So it brings a strong focus on individuality and communication and being flexible. It boosts his confidence and, you know, the higher levels of energies it gives to those with a lot of Gemini energy in their chart. So you may feel more extroverted, wanting to put yourself out there, more swagger, more creative, more eager to take on new challenges. So it's a great energy to be assertive with and to start new connections or new routines, focus on your self-discovery. But negatively, it can make us impulsive or scattered in our thoughts and actions. There can also be a risk of overextending yourself or becoming too restless, which can lead to burnout or conflicts with others due to this increased need for independence and freedom. So the best use of this transit is to use the surge of energy and enthusiasm towards setting personal goals, engaging in constructive communication and expressing yourself authentically. It's a time to embrace change, start new adventures and engage in, things that stimulate you mentally and promote your growth and learning. From a spiritual perspective, it symbolises a time of spiritual awakening and enlightenment, or philosophical, intellectual, scientific or technical awakenings, if that's your sort of like main focus is. So this combination of the Sun representing vitality and illumination and Gemini's communicative and adaptable nature, so that some of you may experience revelations about your true selves and purpose in life, as it encourages you to dig deep, self-reflect and work on your self-expression and connect with others and yourself on a deeper level. On the psychological level, it can highlight the issues on how you present yourself to the world. So what actions and words do you say? Do you frequently see yourself getting in trouble with the way you behave around others and the words you say? Or do people take advantage of you? Thinking about how you can tweak your identity and build more self-confidence if that's what you need. Or if you are too egotistical, how you can rein it in a bit and respect other people's needs and boundaries and improve your own overall well-being as well. It pushes us to reassess our beliefs, values and attitudes towards our development, and the emphasis on communication can also lead to increased self-analysis. So it's a time to dig deep into your inner workings, exploring the intricacies, the nuances, the contradictions of your mind and emotions, and it gives you the perfect opportunity to confront your fears and shadows and ultimately emerge more self-aware. And by embracing, this energy, and that allows you to grow and transform, we have to avoid the pitfalls of becoming impulsive and restless. So this may require you to be mindful or use any other technique that can help you, make a conscious sort of effort to channel this abundance of energy, sun energy, flowing into your first house of identity in a productive way, setting boundaries, practicing self-care and seeking balance in all areas of your life, opening up yourself to new experiences and ideas and perspectives that can challenge the ways you think and do things and expand your current understanding of yourselves and the world around you. So remember, self-awareness is key at this time, as is remaining grounded, doing things to help you chill out and balance and connect to your inner wisdom, seeking out mentors, engaging in practices such as meditation or journaling, and developing meaningful conversations with others can provide support and encouragement along your journey of personal evolution over the next 12 months. So for Taurus, Sun, Moon and Rising, or those with a lot of Taurus energy in their natal charts, when the transiting Sun moves in the second house at the time of the solstice, it brings a harmonious blend of material wealth and self-worth. So for those with a lot of Taurus energy, it signifies a time when you may feel a greater focus on your personal resources, financial stability and values. It can bring an increased sense of security and confidence in your abilities to manifest abundance and do the hard work to follow follow through on your dreams and plans. You may find yourself more motivated to go after what you want and invest in yourself and reach your financial goals. So it's good for rethinking your finances, even if you are in debt and stuff like that, you know, planning a realistic way for you to get out of it. And although you may be upset and feel pressured and doubt and worry and all the other things that happen when, you know, we are in debt and stuff like that, but this energy allows you to, you know, focus on doing the things that are going to help you live a better life on the emotional, psychological, physical, financial and spiritual levels. So this is a favourable time for building prosperity and establishing a strong foundation for future growth. But on the flip side, people can become obsessive, possessive and focus on material possessions right now and get envious and overspend, trying to keep up with others and so off, because you may feel that, you know, what you spend right now, what you own right now equates to your self-worth and popularity and, you know, with your sense of status and financial success. And you may feel, as I said, inadequate because you're not meeting your monetary goals, so you may overspend or just, you know, feel really low in yourself as well. But it's essential for you to remember that true value lies beyond material wealth and status, and it's best to develop self-esteem independent of external markers, including relationships, product, services and stuff. And I know it's so hard because we're programmed to depend on someone else's opinion or love and reassurance. And having been a person in my past, in my youth, you know, was more insecure, it's hard to get out of. And especially in my culture in England, it's kind of like a thing, we're stiff upper lip, we're reserved, you know, keep calm, carry on. So it's on our subconscious that we keep things to ourselves and we don't show off, you know, we don't overdo it, we don't talk about how great we are, even though that's slightly changed, but for the most part, you know. So just thinking about your culture and your upbringing and the values it may have installed in you that's detrimental to your overall well-being, and slowly taking the time to change it. And hey guys, you know, it's a lifelong progress. I feel comfortable here. Before, when I was rushing to a destination of, oh, you know, I'm healed on every level, but now I'm just working on maintaining the levels I get to, being open to moving up and just dealing with life as it comes, because life will always come. We can make the best plans in the world. I used to think if I can try and think about every eventuality and think for it, I'll always be alright, but sometimes, you know, things just come as a shock and you can't always plan your emotional responses, but you can deal how you let those emotions out, how you sow those emotions. Like we can train ourselves to, you know, be calm instead of, you know, acting on emotions and being impulsive and running into our, you know, impulsive habits of overspending and doing things that are reckless. So the best way to use the energy of the transiting sun in the second house of Taurus during the summer solstice is to do things that promote your self-care, understanding, love and forgiveness, financial planning and having gratitude for what you have already, even though it can be hard if you feel, oh, I don't have what I want. And I know it's a cliche, but there really is always someone worse off than us, you know. And I know it's not about looking at others and saying, oh wow, I'm not that poor old thing, you know. It's not about that, but it's just realising that there's always something to be grateful. So yeah, it's great for budgeting, saving and investing your time and resources wisely, thinking about the ways that you waste your time, money and other resources, and how you can, you know, stop doing that and channel some of that energy that you're wasting, you know, deconstructive things like overspending, over socializing, ignoring, looking after your emotional and spiritual and psychological health and stuff, and, you know, thinking about ways you can learn to get out of your comfort zone and be open to creating newness in your life. Practicing mindfulness around your spending habits and embracing a mindset of abundance can lead to long-term financial stability, deepen your sense of self-worth if you're prepared to, you know, work to change whatever needs changing in your life. And on the spiritual level, it wants us to explore the connection between material wealth and inner riches, encouraging a deeper understanding of how your values shape your relationships with yourself and your possessions and sense of status and worth. And this self-reflection that you do wants you to focus on what truly matters in your life and how to align your words and actions and, thoughts with your core beliefs. Psychologically, it can illuminate our deepest desires for security and stability, as well as, highlighting the reckless things or things that you can do, that you are doing to prevent security and stability in your life, or where you are clinging to certain things to provide that sense of stability. And, it pushes you to reevaluate your relationship with money and possessions and people, pushing you to seek balance and happiness beyond material wealth, relationships and products and services, and finding a balance between your financial goals and your inner growth as an individual and the psychological, emotional and spiritual levels, and reminding you that true abundance comes from a sense of self-worth that is, independent of external validations. So as the sun shines on our values and priorities as it transits through the second house of Taurus during the summer solstice, it becomes imperative to tap into your inner resources and cultivate a mindset of gratitude and contentment, as I said earlier, and by embracing mindful spending habits and practicing financial responsibility and nurturing a sense of abundance from within yourself by learning to forgive and accept and manage and heal and love yourself, you can set a solid foundation for long-term financial, physical, psychological, emotional and spiritual well-being and inner balance and happiness. So all in all, the summer solstice in the second house is Taurus. During the summer solstice is the opportunity for you to align your material goals with your spiritual growth, creating harmony between outer success and inner peace. By reflecting on what truly matters to you, you can achieve financial security without compromising our values, because that's why a lot of people get sad, because they find out when they get the money or reach that goal, the things that they may have had to do to get there and the things they miss out on and the opportunities and relationships and stuff. So by trying to think of ways how you can build financial abundance into your life without compromising your authentic values, can set a course for you to have a more prosperous and meaningful future. And by embracing gratitude for what you already have in your life, can cultivate, develop, create a sense of contentment within you that transcends material possessions, relationships and things such as external status and things. So Okay, so the sun is in the third house of Aries, sun, moon and rising, and those with a lot of Aries energy in their natal charts. So when the sun transits through the third house of Aries, it brings a unique blend of energies that allows us to boost our mental sharpness and stimulate curiosity and our communication skills. It allows Aries to network more, maybe do more short distance travel and sort of like engage in intellectual sort of activities. So speaking up for yourself more confidently and assertively in your interactions with others is a good use of this energy, but negatively it can lead to restlessness and scattered energy and impatience in communication, because there can be a tendency towards impulsiveness and speaking without thinking, which could potentially lead to misunderstandings or verbal or at the worst aggressive conflicts with others. So it's important to practice, taking time out, active listening, the willingness to think before you act and react during the summer solstice to avoid unnecessary confrontations, especially over the next 12 months as well. The best use of this energy is to use it for effective communication, learning opportunities and building connections with those around you rather than destroying them. It can be hard when people have different lifestyles, beliefs than you, but ultimately I believe that we're all human, regardless of the diversities, and as long as we're doing no harm to self and others, then we need to give each other a different sort of grace and understanding, because especially when we're interacting, in the outside world together and online and stuff like that, it's best to be kind and think before you say words that you may regret, especially third house family members, immediate neighbours, people seeing you travel every day, co-workers, because what you say now can really impact your quality of life, or your sense of self, peace of mind and stuff, and also your energy reserves. If you start a war now or continue on, really what's going to be the end of it? And I know it can be hard because other people can see you as weak if you act and react in a certain way, especially if they stereotype you into a sort of like role of, or someone like you should be more aggressive or dominant, or you shouldn't be like this or shouldn't be like that. So we have to just realise that we've all got different perspectives on how things can be, but the best thing to resolve conflict is to try and initiate discussions that strengthen your connections within your immediate community, repairing things, certainly self, but allowing other people to assert themselves, and enforcing your boundaries in a kind way, or in a way that doesn't explode the conflict, and respecting other people's boundaries as well. But use this time to express yourself confidently, engage in productive dialogues, conversations, and plan short trips that spark, give you inspiration, because it's a great energy for brainstorming ideas, starting new projects, continuing old projects, rethinking existing projects, readjusting the methods, and especially if they involve communication, learning or teaching, and nurturing relationships with your siblings, neighbours and colleagues. It's also a time when mental flexibility and quick thinking can be more in the air for you guys who have strong Aries energy in your chart, or in one of your rising sun or moon. So it allows us to engage in stimulating conversation, solve issues that have been maybe affecting you for years, whether they be relationship issues, mental health issues, emotional, spiritual health issues, financial issues and so forth. So spiritually, it wants us to explore the power of our words and actions and thoughts, and how they shape our reality, our experiences within and without, in our external interactions with others, and inside of us with our internal dialogue and thoughts. So it pushes us to communicate more authentically and less toxically with ourselves and others, and to listen attentively and pay attention to the message we send out into the world. It's a call for self-reflection, especially on how you express yourself and connect with others on a deeper level, and of course how you connect with yourself on a deeper level. So using your intellect and seeking a deeper understanding of how you communicate with the world around you can be really beneficial right now, aligning your thoughts and words with your higher purpose, and using your thoughts and communication for tools of growth and connection, rather as tools of disconnection and isolation and self-abuse and negligence and stuff like that. Channeling your thoughts and actions into things that build up your overall sense of self in a healthy way. Psychologically, it pushes us to embrace being more assertive and confident and expressing yourself, and this can lead to effective networking and short distant travel experiences. But it's crucial to be mindful of the downsides of restlessness, impulsiveness and scattered energy, which is doing too much. Try not to spread yourself too thin. Don't overpromise and commit to things you cannot. Don't take on to things. Give yourself realistic time to complete projects, because this is a thing that has blighted my life. I think, I'm like Speedy Gonzales or, sort of thing. But really, to do things actually takes time. To complete any project, not perfectly, but to a good standard, to, bring new habits into your day-to-day life, changing your thought and behaviour patterns and the way you relate to yourself and others, take time. It can take 10, 15 years. Some of you may ace it in 3 to 4, but still you will have to keep on being open to lifelong change and learning to make sure you don't get stuck in change, because a lot of people, what I've noticed, they find a new philosophy and stuff and they click onto that, then their whole world just becomes fixated and seeing the world through that one particular lens, or that through a narrow sort of lens. But it's best to try and keep open-minded as the year goes on, especially, you know, if you've got strong Aries energy in your chart, and just focus on how you self-reflect, how you assert yourself in conversations and relationships, and, you know, find a balance between being assertive and receptive to others, you know, and not people-pleasing as well if you do that, and not being too pussy if you do that as well. So yeah, embrace this energy as an opportunity for self-expression, inner exploration, and having meaningful connections with those in your immediate environment and with yourself, you know, with your own inner self as well, because this is how we can improve our relationships with others as well. So yeah. So at the time of the summer solstice, the sun is in the 4th house as Pisces, sun, moon and rising. So at the time of the summer solstice, with the sun in the 4th house as Pisces, it can bring about deep emotional self-reflection and for you to want to connect to your roots. So culture, religion, wanting to look at family history, stuff like that. It creates a sense of nurturing and comfort and pushes you to explore your innermost feelings, because remember, that's the key of the summer solstice. It's going inward in a way and, you know, thinking about the things that you need to change. From a spiritual perspective, it encourages us to dig into, you know, your subconscious mind and connect with your intuition on a deeper level. It's a time for spiritual growth and reflection, thinking about how far you're on your spiritual path, or, you know, I use the word because everyone knows what that means, but I prefer the word of self-actualization. You know, what things do you still need to do to self-actualize into your best self? Because for some of us it's, you know, going the science route, the intellectual route, the philosophical route, you know, kind of like the Anita Baker song, I don't care how you get there, how you can, sort of thing, you know. So it's sort of like, you know, just as there's 8 billion people on earth, there's that many ways to self-actualization, spiritual awakening. So it allows for you to heal and feel an emotional release if you're prepared to confront your emotions, but it can make you sensitive, negatively and moody, and can add to tension in your relationships and within yourself in a conflict as well. So just try and be gentle with yourself. Apologise if you ever stepped over boundaries or, you know, reacting mood and stuff, you know. Of course you may feel justified and there may be a whole other conflict going on there, but, you know, still try and practice active listening and, you know, be angry. I'm not saying if you do feel that the other person's aggrieved you, then of course tell them off, sort of thing, but just remember to give you another's grace after the storm, sort of thing, and try and find peace, or at least some resolution to the conflict, even if it means, you know, stay away from me forever, you know. You can still forgive someone and not want them in your space, you know. So yeah, so as I said, you can have more empathy to yourself and others, be more sensitive, have a greater understanding of your emotional needs, and more of a desire to create balance in both your personal and family life as well, and just feel more connected to your heritage, seeking you know, kind of solitude and peace and contentment from researching tradition and culture practices that are significant to you. So yeah, ultimately it's an opportunity for inner healing and self-nurturing, going deep into your emotional, psychological and spiritual issues. So yeah, it provides a platform for you to process past traumas over the next 12 months, releasing pent-up emotions, exploring the things that are really stopping you from experiencing love, self-love, or the fullness of life, you know. But as I said, negatively, it can make us escape and feel emotionally overwhelmed as well, because the increased sensitivity can just make you retreat into a fantasy world, indulging in self-destructive behaviours as a coping mechanism for your emotions, or escaping any other problems you got going on, relationship, money problems, etc. So yeah, the best use of this energy is to self-reflect, to forgive yourself, to make a plan. The past is gone, you can't change that, and I know how it can be like, if we could, we really would, and maybe there are some things we should change if we could go back. But the thing is, we can't. We can only move on and learn from them. So, forgiving yourself and allowing yourself to come out of your self-destructive thoughts and behaviours and toxic ways of relating to yourself and others can help you process your emotions in a healthy way, and just sort of like make room for you to get outside of your comfort zone, and make room in your life for new things and a deeper level of personal growth, awareness, love, forgiveness, acceptance and management as well, and just feeling a stronger connection to your inner self as well. So yeah, the sun's in the 5th house of Aquarius, sun, moon and rising at the time of the summer solstice. So this brings a blend of romance, creativity, self-expression and innovation to the forefront of your summer solstice. It encourages you to tap into your unique talents and share them with the world. You can have an increased sense of individuality and wanting to be unique or authentic, showing off your authenticity. You may feel more confident in expressing yourself more creatively in your your appearance, your clothes, stuff like that, and the way that you talk and move, and going after your true passions. The 5th house in astrology is associated with joy, playfulness, speculation, taking risks, romance as well, so it's a good energy for doing things that bring you pleasure and excitement. But negatively, there can be a sort of tendency towards being unpredictable, rebellious just for the sake of it, and being unconventional in relationships without stating your true wishes. So not that you will intentionally lead someone on, someone else may lead you on, it's not that, some people may go out their way to deceive right now and manipulate, and you may want to ignore red flags as well, because you're like, I want an adventure. It's a very flirty energy and very unpredictable in the 5th house, so it could lead to deception in romance, lies, cheating, stuff like that. You may also struggle with this desire for independence that can border on defiance, just like, I don't really care what other people want, I want to do what I want. But this can lead to conflicts in your relationships, in your commitments, in your projects, teamwork at work and all sorts of things. So it's important to find a balance between your need for freedom and meeting your responsibilities and being accountable for your actions and responsibilities at this time, to avoid potential disruptions and waste of time, money, other resources, energy, lack of sleep and feeling drained and that. So just try and be active in your communication, be honest, be open to hearing difficult things from your partners right now, or saying difficult things as well. But the best use of this energy is to embrace your individuality and creativity wholeheartedly. Go in, explore new ways of self-expression, whether it be through artistic creative plans, hobbies, or even your personal style. Enjoy and engage in activities that bring you a sense of happiness and balance, and connect with your inner child or with children, and nurture your inner child by engaging in playful activities, laughing at yourself, which can be hard to do, but it really is a tonic for your soul, and it can help you understand and manage psychological, spiritual and emotional health issues as well. So yeah, in the spiritual level, it allows you to, explore self-discovery, and especially being authentic in your expression to your needs, to your wishes, but also considering other people's opinions and boundaries, and doing things in respectful ways, especially if you're ending things and stuff, rather than cheat, say, hey, I need a break, or I need to end this, whatever. So yeah, embrace your uniqueness and allow yourself to shine brightly, and this can lead to a deeper connection with yourself and others. It's a time for you to break free from tradition, societal norms and expectations over the next 12 months and embrace the freedom to be who you truly are. From a psychological perspective, it can, ignite, spark a sense of liberation, freedom, hunting, creativity, indulging in authentic self-expression and doing things that bring you excitement and explore your passions. Just be playful, enjoy, explore, but also remember you have to find that balance between being an individual and being accountable for the things you say and do to others right now. So the sun is transiting in the 6th house of Capricorn at the time of the solstice, so this brings ambition, discipline, our career, our status, practicality. So this can increase productivity and efficiency in your daily routines and your work life right now. So, Capricorn's influence here brings a sense of structure and responsibility to the 6th house of, health, fitness and career. So it's an ideal time for setting and achieving goals related to these areas, looking after your hygiene, your mental, physical, emotional, spiritual health, changing your fitness regime, how you eat, how you go about your career, and learning new skills that you need to start a new career or get promotion in your current career, or with your educational or other goals as well. But negatively, it can make us too self-critical, overwork, get to burnout and seeking perfectionism and feeling pressure to meet unrealistic standards that others may put on you or you may put on yourself over the next 12 months, and this can lead to stress and burnout if not managed effectively. So it's important to balance ambition with self-care to avoid becoming fatigued, exhausted and tired. So the best use of this energy is to do things that require logic and practicality, and doing things that require long-term action, so day-to-day action to make those goals come through. So changing exercise, work habits, learning habits, stuff like that, spiritual practice and stuff. It's a good time for all forms of self-improvement, refining your professional skills, taking care of your physical well-being, setting realistic goals and creating a structured routine that can bring positive results at this time. From a spiritual perspective, it wants you to go within and think about your place in the world and how you contribute to your family, if you have one, or to yourself, to society, and your sense of purpose. It encourages a more disciplined approach to spiritual practices and personal development and management, especially when it comes to your physical and emotional and psychological health. Psychologically, it wants you to be aware of the importance of being organised and systematic in daily tasks to maximise your efficiency and productivity. It reminds us of the need for structure and responsibility, and it influences us to set clear goals and work diligently towards achieving them. And it's essential to guard against the pitfalls of being perfectionistic and expecting yourself and others to live up to unrealistic targets right now, overworking and burnout. Striving for excellence is good, but not at the cost of your mental and physical well-being and the well-being of others. So maintaining the balance between burnout and maintaining a healthy work-life relationship balance is essential. And by using this energy, you can tap into your inner drive and ambition and feel motivated to push yourself forward in the areas of your life you want to change. It allows you to take a more practical and grounded approach to personal growth, and it influences you to focus on areas that require require your attention and improvement right now, and doing self-reflection at this time can lead to profound insights into your strengths and weaknesses and help you to align your actions with your long-term goals. And by incorporating discipline and structure into your daily routines, you can maximize your potential and achieve significant progress in your plans. So it's crucial to strike a balance between pushing yourself towards excellence and ensuring adequate self-care right now, recognizing the importance of rest, relaxation and holistic well-being, and how they are crucial in sustaining long-term success and fulfillment. And in the pursuit of personal and professional growth, it's important for you to maintain a healthy mindset and lifestyle over the next 12 months, and to develop habits that promote your productivity, well-being, and creating a harmonious synergy, a balanced synergy between ambition and self-care. So the sun is in the 7th house of Sagittarius, sun, moon and rising at the time of the summer solstice. It brings a blend of energy and influence, helping those with strong Sagittarian energy in their natal charts to focus on their relationships, partnerships and teamwork, collaborations, developing meaningful connections, both personally or professionally. It can bring a sense of harmony and balance in relationships, leading to smoother interactions and mutual understanding. But negatively, because of the increase in emotional sensitivity, there can be tension and conflicts due to difference in opinions and misunderstandings. So it's crucial to practice patience and open communication to navigate through these challenges effectively. The best use of this transit is to embrace the opportunities for personal growth and self-discovery through interactions with others. It encourages Sagittarius to be more open-minded, adaptable and willing to compromise for the sake of harmony in their relationships, so being open to active listening, healthy communication, creating safe spaces and just being upfront with your intentions, allowing others to do the same. Renegotiating terms in current relationships, it pushes you to reflect on your connection to the world around you and how your connection can contribute positively to your social circles. It sort of pushes you to explore your spiritual beliefs in the context of relationships and doing that again. It encourages you to explore your spiritual beliefs in the concepts of relationships and partnerships, developing a deeper sense of unity and interconnectedness. Psychologically, it wants you to self-reflect on your own personal identity and how you keep or lose your identity or overassert your identity or allow people to walk over you, or the way you people please in your relationships. So it gives you the space to question your roles in various partnerships and asking you to express your true self authentically while maintaining harmony with others. So this is usually achieved by being who you are, or respecting that words and the way you say and do things can affect others. And when we're in relationships with others, to me it's all about us saying we care for you, we want you in our lives. So this is why I only have intentional relationships, whether they be friendships or otherwise, and where each of the spaces can be met and stuff like that, and needs can be met as well, and inconsequences and little quirks. So how we can still show up as ourselves and maintain harmony with others. This will be the key focus over the next 12 months for Sagittarius and those with strong Sagittarius energy in their natal chart. It pushes you and supports you in digging into your emotional, psychological and spiritual depths and understand your patterns of behaviour in relationships more clearly, so you can reflect on your healthy relating patterns and toxic relating patterns. And what I found is how we relate with others and how we show up in the world starts from the thoughts we're allowed to live in our mind, and the ways that we deal with ourselves, how much love we give to ourselves, understanding, forgiveness and compromise and empathy we give to ourselves typically shows how helpfully we can give empathy and compromise and forgiveness to others as well. So by navigating the complexities of your emotions and your interpersonal relationships during this time, and your internal dynamics of self-love, forgiveness and compromise and empathy, building your self-awareness, which is really, really needed during this time over the next 12 months as well, and just more of a willingness to be vulnerable and honest with yourself and others, deepening your connections and gaining insights that can lead to more fulfilling relationships with yourself and others in the long run. So yeah. Okay, so the sun is in the 8th house of Scorpio, sun, moon and rising at the time of the summer solstice. So this brings intense energy that allows you to transform. The 8th house in astrology is associated with deep psychological processes, said resources, regeneration, the things that we keep repressed in our psyche. So, kinks we may like in and out the bedroom, stuff like that, things that we find hard to tell others. And although the 12th house is the house of secrets, Pisces and Scorpio are both water energy, emotional energy. So, secrets are also covered by the 8th house, but the more sexual kind of secrets, or in terms of psychological things that may happen to you that you keep, you may keep mental health issues a secret from people because of one reason or the other. So positively, it increases your ability to dig into your subconscious mind, confront your fears and traumas, and emerge more stronger and more empowered as you focus on your inner healing and self-discovery and love and acceptance. But negatively, it can make us emotionally intense and get into unnecessary power struggles, and can bring up buried emotions to the surface that can lead to confrontations and the need for control. So it's essential, important to navigate these emotional waters with awareness, self-reflection, love, understanding and forgiveness to avoid being overwhelmed by deep-seated emotional trauma or psychological or spiritual wounds that may come up. So the best use of this energy is to engage on therapy or inner work, shadow work, self-help over the next 12 months, that allows you to releasing that energy. So for some of you, be dancing, singing, gaming, jumping, screaming, just letting go, writing, journaling, making a change, getting outside of your comfort zone, anything that allows you to safely release this this long pain that you've held in you, whether it be over abandonment, being ashamed of your desires or thoughts, and it really is an important time to release old thought and behaviour patterns, embrace change and explore the hidden aspects of your psyche. From a spiritual perspective, the sun in the 8th house of Scorpio during the summer solstice allows for regeneration and rebirth, allowing you to dig into the depths of your soul and confront your shadows, emerging more renewed and transform, encouraging you to surrender to the process of death, letting go of the old. The past cannot be changed, allowing yourself to be rebirthed into the now and your future, shedding old layers of pain, suffering and ego and repression, and welcoming new beginnings by seeking out the tools that can help you to improve your life daily, getting back up after each fall. Remember, each fall is one step closer to your goal. Don't see it as a failure. Failure is a big part of success, a real underrated. It allows us to rethink our methods and tools, also prove to ourselves how much we want something as well, so allow yourself to follow through even if you've been procrastinating for decades. Even if you used to say procrastination is your middle name, like I did once upon a time foolishly in my youth, you can tap into your subconscious patterns and desires that have been hidden and suppressed, allowing yourself to continue or develop self-awareness, love and understanding and forgiveness, and focus on your personal growth as you confront your deepest wounds and fears, allowing yourself to let go of control and trust in the process of transformation, allowing for yourself to connect deeper with life and to love all aspects of yourself, not just the ones you see as good, for you to embrace your weaknesses and your shadow and know that weaknesses are only those if we don't manage them, thinking about how you can channel your desires in constructive ways, gaining consent from others, because consent must always be given, and as long as we do no harm to ourselves and others, we can pretty much do what we want, but although, just under that umbrella of doing no harm to self and others, it can seem like a daunting task, but ultimately allowing yourself to experience insight into your behaviours can give you breakthroughs, and you can become more authentic and more empowered by going into your innermost depths with courage and honesty and a willingness to change and get outside of your comfort zone and have a more open heart and mind. You can emerge over the next 12 months, those with strong Scorpio energy, and their natal charts more wiser, more aligned with your true selves. So the sun's in the 9th house of Libra, Sun, Moon and Rising, so it brings a blend of practical energy that can be profound. The 9th house is associated with higher learning, long distance travel, philosophy and spiritual significance. So for those with strong Libra energy, it allows you to tap into higher knowledge, expand your mindset, behaviours, horizons. You may find yourself drawn to exploring new philosophies, subjects, cultures, educational, spiritual, intellectual, scientific activities during this time. It's a great energy for intellectual growth and spiritual insight. You may feel inspired to seek out perspectives that allow you to look into the deeper meanings of life or your life, but negatively it can make you escape, be idealistic without grounding in reality when you're going out there seeking opinions, new philosophies. You can become overly philosophical at this time, vague and detached from practical concerns, leading to difficulties in taking decisive action or making concrete plans. And for some of you it can be good, you letting go of your type A personality and just spent most of your adult life, just going for goal after goal, promotion after promotion, achievement after achievement. Now, I was just laughing at the 3 words for the same thing, but you know what I mean. This could be an ideal time for you to take some time out and just chill out a bit and not be so, focused on achieving and stuff. But on the other hand, make sure you do your research. Don't just listen to one source. Be critical in your thinking. To keep yourself open-minded, especially to listen to opinions of people that disagree with what you believe. It may be hard at first, but doing this allows you to, not only be aware of all the different perspectives out there against what you believe, but allow you to, question and to refine your beliefs. And of course, in all belief systems, there's an element of faith, unless if you just think in a strictly logical, scientific, technological way. But, it's best to find a balance between exploring new ideas, integrating them into your everyday life, and being open to more than just the logical at this time as well. Engaging in discussions, starting new educational courses, spiritual practices, researching different culture, religions, food, travel, but allow yourself to stay rooted in reality and apply any newfound knowledge practically, and making sure that you do your research, as I said, and be open-minded and take your time as well. Don't force yourself to rush and learn things, savour the moment. Although it can push you to be impulsive, but you have to do your best to stay grounded, engaging in things that allow you to elevate your consciousness, to think outside of the box, to not just be reactive and impulsive and restless, to use this energy to broaden your mental horizons and challenge your existing beliefs, and not people please, not be indecisive, but allow yourself to grow, and seek deeper meaning in your life. But watch against, falling into escapism or idealism without grounding yourself in reality, striking a balance between exploring new ideas and integrating them into your everyday life. So yeah, by allowing yourself to be open to newness, you can just sort of really feel more balanced and more grounded in reality right now, and for the coming 12 months as well. So for Virgo, Sun, Moon and Rising, the Sun's in your 10th house, so you can feel a deeper connection to your life purpose and ambitions. You may shine brightly at work or in your community or family or relationships right now. Your career and public image may undergo some changes. You may sort of have more of a drive for success and get some recognition for hard work, and step into a leadership role, going for promotion at work, starting your own business, or maybe stepping down, giving over authority to someone else. Maybe some of you be retiring, but on the negative end, you can feel pressured to live up to other people's expectations, and this can feel overwhelming, and this can lead to added pressure. You may be overly perfectionist right now, and this causes core problems with co-workers, family members. You may want things done your way, or you may neglect your emotional needs and the emotional needs of others at this time, and because you struggle with the work-life balance, becoming too focused on your educational career or personal goals at the expense of other areas of your life, like your relationships. And because of this, power struggles can come up as you assert yourself in your professional life. Conflicts with co-workers or authority figures could come up. So the best use of this energy is to set ambitious career goals and take proactive steps towards achieving them at this time, or any other goals that you have, and build connections through networking with others in your profession, or anything else that can further your career and educational or any other prospects you're working at. And just show your leadership skills by demonstrating your potential to take charge, even if that means stepping down from a leadership role, because that can demonstrate the ability to know when, to take a new path, or to step down, to look after, other areas of your life, and starting new initiatives, going in a different direction, focusing on professional development in your current career. Or you may think, I want to start something else, so skill building, seeking mentorship, being a mentor, balancing your ambition with self-care, and to maintain your work-life balance as well is the best use of this energy. Psychologically, it gives us the motivation and determination to achieve goals, and instills a strong sense of responsibility and duty, allowing you to align your actions with your higher self and seek authenticity and integrity in all your plans. And it symbolises a time of enlightenment spiritually, self-realisation, where you are pushed to follow your true calling and make decisions that resonate with your inner being, rather than what other people expect from you, or what someone of your status or should do and stuff like that. And really thinking about what you really want to do. So yeah, it reminds you to focus on your growth and development, especially in the areas of your career and public image, maintaining being humble, having humility and service towards others, while also striving for success and recognition in the external world. It can help some of you create a strong work ethic, pay more attention to detail, and be more practical in your professional activities. So over the next 12 months, it's ideal for those with strong Virgo energy to push themselves in their careers, or reevaluate their careers, start a new career or educational or spiritual practice, etc. And be aware of the power struggles that can come up during the time of all this change in your 10th house area. And by having a balance between ambition and being humble, humility, you can navigate this period with more grace and authenticity, ensuring that your actions align with your true purpose and values, and respecting other people's boundaries and needs as well. And by doing this, you can get success in your chosen field, or just with a sense of satisfaction within yourself by staying true to yourself. So for Leo, Sun, Moon and Rising, the Sun's in your 11th house. So from a spiritual perspective, it allows you to focus on your self-expression, creativity and leadership abilities. You may feel more confident in sharing your gifts with the world and connecting with other like-minded individuals who support your growth and goals. It encourages you to embrace your individuality and shine brightly in social settings, and you can just develop a sense of community and togetherness. On the psychological level, the Sun in the 10th house of Leo can just make you have a stronger sense of self-esteem and empowerment. It boosts your confidence and encourages you to go after your dreams and goals with more passion and determination. It increases your social interactions and networking skills, making it easier for you to build more meaningful connections with others and share your visions and values. So one of the keys of this transit is to make sure you focus on your growth, self-expression, take risks as well, explore new opportunities and step into leadership roles within your social circles or communities. But try not to be detached, and but do not let ego conflicts or power struggles within social groups, which can happen on the negative end of this energy, stop you from finding and building new friendship and finding support for your plans and stuff like that as well. And to do this, it's crucial for you to remain grounded and maintain a balance between asserting yourself, being authentic and true to yourself, and respecting the ideas and contributions and personal expressions of others. So the best use of this energy is to use it for your personal growth and connect with strong-minded and like-minded individuals, and develop, cultivate, build bonds with them, or continue building bonds with people who are already in your social circle and any sort of organisation and groups you belong to. So it encourages you to shine brightly in social settings over the next 12 months, developing a sense of community and togetherness. And the Sun's presence in the 11th house of those with strong Leo energy during the summer solstice can have profound impact on your self-esteem and empowerment levels. It can ignite a fire within you, pushing you to go after your goals with more passion and confidence. And it makes it easier for you to connect with others who share your values and goals right now as well. Because it presents opportunities for personal growth, self-expression and taking on new challenges with courage and enthusiasm. So the alignment of the Sun in the 11th house of Leo during the summer solstice reminds us to focus on personal empowerment and growth through community engagement, working in groups, bonding with your friends, making new friends. And it's important for you to be mindful of your actions and maintain a balance between self-assurance, confidence and humility, being humble, respecting other people's needs to foster, to grow harmonious relationships within your group and social circles, and by embracing your individuality while also recognizing the strengths of others, can lead to shared success and meaningful collaborations at this time. So yeah, to finish up, the sun is in the 12th house of Cancer, Sun, Moon and Rising at the time of the summer solstice. So again, it brings emotional depth, spiritual growth, and the summer solstice is all about introspection. So for those with strong Cancer energy, it wants you to dig deep into your subconscious mind and dig up hidden truths about yourselves. So at this time you can feel an increase in your intuition and sensitivity towards other people's emotions, and a stronger connection to all things spiritual. So it's a great time for solitude, meditation and inner reflection, and you can find yourself more in tune with your emotions and the emotions of others, and be able to express yourself more creatively, emotionally, psychologically and spiritually. But on the negative end, you can feel overwhelmed by your emotions, experience mood swings and struggle with self-doubt and uncertainty, because the 12th house can also bring up feelings of isolation or desire to retreat from the outside world. Also, our fears and our nightmares live here, right? Our doubts in our subconscious, the real reasons why we indulge in toxic relationships, if we do that, the reason for our own brand, because I believe all of us are addicts to at least one thing, even if these things are healthy, but out of balance they can become unhealthy if you neglect other areas of your life or other people in the pursuit of your own goals, whatever they may be. Even if the goal is to be more spiritually in tune, I believe there's a time for everything, a time to take time out and work on ourselves and do shadow work, and then there's a time to interact with other people in a new way. The goal of spirituality for me should be about connecting with your inner self and with a higher power, but also using these things to connect with others. And of course, there's some people you need to keep your distance from, of course, family members included. I'm not saying that, but to keep yourself locked away from all people, I'm not sure all people need to do that. I know there's some mystical disciplines and spiritual occult groups and sects that do that, and that may be your path, but I don't believe it's every spiritual practitioner's path to be able to, shut themselves off from society and be able to stay in lotus position or whatever other position and stuff like that for 24 hours a day. Mindfulness, meditation, embracing forgiveness for yourself and others, letting go of psychological and emotional wounds, to an extent. But for some of us, especially if you had deep psychological, spiritual, emotional sexual trauma, the best we can do is to learn to manage our triggers, and keep ourselves in check. So, it reminds us of the importance of self-care, setting boundaries, seeking support, especially if you're struggling with running into, excessive drug and other intoxicating substances, use and stuff as well, getting the support for help and not being hard on yourself or your addictions and your past, we've all got one, and, this energy reminds you to embrace healing and personal growth, confront your inner fears, release emotional, psychological and spiritual baggage, starting or continuing the lifelong work of doing that and understanding yourself on a deeper level, so you can have more compassion, self-love and forgiveness for yourself, and this is how you can have more empathy for others. And using things such as journaling, paying attention to your dreams, having therapy, energy healing sessions or any other healing technique that resonates with you, researching the right tools, allowing yourself to critically think. Don't just believe anything that you find new blindly. Don't ignore red flags and watch out for manipulating others as well, manipulating yourself into living a fantasy and that you're okay with things that you really are not okay with, so use this to be objective, which is going to be hard because, the 12th house energy, but it wants you to find a profound connection to your soul's journey and inner wisdom at the time of this solstice and over the next 12 months. If you've got strong Cancer energy in your natal chart, it wants you to explore the depths of your spirituality, connect with higher realms of consciousness. But remember, just like people in real life, not all the information in the psychic realm should be taken literally. Just like you've got troublemakers in life who tell lies and stuff like that. And it's not so much the telling lies, it's just that people there can see further, so they can pretend to be a dead relative, lover and stuff like that, and not to be insensitive. So when we're, entering spiritual things, we can get lost in tarot and crystals, and these are all good. You can forever use them, because ultimately a lot of the times these are the tools that brought us into our higher consciousness awareness. But we also have to be reminded of the fact that, as we progress, we need to, the frequency we use some tools need to become less and less. But if you are, doing a career as a tarot reader and stuff like that, then of course you'll use them day to day. But the point I'm trying to make here is just to make sure you never explore things when you're not psychologically and emotionally and spiritually ready, because sometimes opening up doors quickly can lead to all sorts of trouble and add to your burdens already and increase your pain and suffering. The highest use of this energy is to use your intuition and the psychic for guidance so that you can gain clarity on your life. It can bring a period of catharsis. Deep emotional release and cleansing. It encourages you to confront your past traumas, heal deep-seated wounds, and cultivate a sense of inner peace, and reflect on your unconscious mind, your subconscious mind, the hidden aspects of yourself, and how your unawareness or unmanagement or refusal to acknowledge your talents is stopping you from feeling, the fullness of life. So overall, your focus over the next 12 months, those with strong Cancer energy, and your charts will be made up of willingness to be open, dig deep into your psyche, and be open for spiritual growth, emotional healing, psychological and spiritual alignment and understanding, self-love, awareness, respect, and care, and just allow yourself to experience and process complex emotions. And by doing this, you can emerge with a more renewed sense of clarity, purpose, and inner strength. So it's important to practice self-compassion and patience at this time. Okay, so now I'm just going to talk about how the summer solstice is celebrated worldwide now, and how it was celebrated in ancient times, and a bit of, mythology across the world's cultures about it and stuff like that. So as mentioned, the summer solstice is celebrated by many cultures around the world. It's seen as a time of renewal, awakening, and the triumph of light over darkness. It's also linked to fertility, harvest, and the power of the sun. So, from ancient Egypt to modern day Scandinavia, the solstice has been observed for thousands of years, and each culture has its own unique set of rituals and traditions, even though there are similarities across cultures and stuff. So in northern countries such as Sweden and Finland, it's a time of celebrating nature and light. In other traditions, it's a time of feasting and opening up to spiritual renewal, and doing deep rituals to connect with whether it's the moon goddess or the goddess of trees or grass or rain. Everyone's got their different entities that they sort of channel into, or some people just give thanks to the overall presence. Some people call this power the higher power, typically known across many cultures as God. So in Sweden, people gather around maypoles to dance and feast on heaven and new potatoes, and in China it's celebrated with dragon boat races along rivers and lakes. In ancient Egypt, the summer solstice was associated with the flooding of the Nile, which brought fertility and abundance to the land. The people would gather to offer prayers and make offerings to the gods to ensure a successful harvest from their crops or from their manual labour, or whatever it is they wanted, rewards or a big harvest from. In ancient Scandinavia, the solstice was linked to the mythical battle between light and darkness. Bonfires were lit to ward off evil spirits and celebrate the triumph of light over darkness, and it's sort of like the solstice shines the light on our inner work, our inner workings, and want us to nurture our goodness and realise that our darkness is part of us too, and it only remains dark and a weakness because we repress it and hide away from it, and we should be embracing it, learning to understand it so we can channel it in self-constructive ways instead of self-destructive ways, and and in ways that does no harm to ourselves and others. So the ancient rituals that surrounded summer solstice celebrations not only honoured the natural cycles of the earth, but also served as a way to connect with the divine forces believed to govern life and fertility. So even today, remnants of these ancient traditions can still be found in modern solstice celebrations. I mentioned Stonehenge earlier, worldwide, and so whether you prefer to mark the occasion with a modern festival or a more traditional ceremony, the summer solstice serves to remind us of the vastness of our universe and our connection to its rhythms and cycles. It's a time to reflect on the changing seasons and how they impact our lives, and honour the sun and all that it provides for us. So for some, the solstice is also a time of personal renewal and growth. It presents an opportunity for introspection and setting intentions for the months ahead, and the increasing warmth of the sun brings longer days, and we are reminded to fully embrace life and take advantage of all it has to offer and all the seasons have to offer. And in the summer solstice, it's harvesting, it's going within, it's planning for the future. Even if you're planning for the harvest next summer solstice, you can start it now. It's never too late to start again. So some people may celebrate it with friends or family, or spend the time in quiet contemplation alone. It's a chance to connect with nature and appreciate the abundance and beauty of life all around us. And again, as I said, the significance of the solstice is remember that even in times of darkness, there is always light waiting to emerge, to be born, to come up, to sow, to rise to the surface, and embrace newness. So now I'm going to talk more about some of the specific things that people do. So some people do traditional dances and music performances, and these lively and vibrant expressions of art and culture serve to bring communities together and create a sense of unity. So in countries like Spain, the summer solstice is marked by traditional dances such as the flamenco, which originated in the Andalusian region. The flamenco is characterized by its passionate rhythms and intricate footwork, captivating audience with its emotional intensity. And if you think about, the sun, the longest day, and then the darkness comes, and the intricate, passionate rhythms of nature from winter to spring, from spring to summer to fall, and all the way back around again. So in some countries, Scandinavian ones, traditional folk dances are performed, and these dances again have intricate formations, colourful costumes and lively music, reflecting the joy and energy of the summer season. And through these traditional dances and music performances, cultures pay homage to their heritage and celebrate the abundance and vitality that the summer solstice can bring. So many cultures across the world celebrate the solstice with bonfires, as I said, and bonfires are a symbol of purification and renewal. The flickering flames of bonfires create an enchanting atmosphere, casting a warm and inviting glow over the festivities during the solstice. Some cultures, such as in Ireland, the bonfire is lit on hilltops and serves as a beacon to guide and protect the community. People gather around the bonfire singing traditional songs, telling stories and engaging in drinking and merriment and happiness, just having a good time, getting our, and then memorising dance of the flames, and just imagine the fire and all the different movements it can make with the flames, and you can play around with it and, wave a bit of wind around it and stuff. And the flames in general can invoke a sense of awe and reverence, and also fear as well, because as we connect with the primal forces of nature, we can be reminded of how much of a lack of control we have over nature at times. Sometimes fires can be hard to contain personal energies, especially if you've got a lot of Leo, Sun, Pluto, Scorpio, Mars, Aries energy in your chart, Sagittarius, Jupiter energy. You can be really in tune with the more primitive forces of nature. And even if you've got a lot of earth energy, energy, Taurus, Capricorn and Virgo as well. So additionally, fire-themed rituals and spectacles such as fire juggling and firework displays can add a sense of excitement to the solstice celebrations, and we can use fire to express our gratitude for the sun's life-giving energy and just, celebrate the abundance and warmth that the summer solstice brings. And as I said, the symbology of light and darkness has also been recognised across the cultures. The aspects of light and dark, is it nurture? Do our parents, our upbringing turn people dark, or are we innately dark beings who try to be light, or are we born with a mixture of both, or is choosing to be light and dark a choice? And nature shows us that it's an ever-changing cycle as well. So the contrast between light and darkness represents a duality that is often associated with enlightenment. Light is knowledge and clarity, and darkness is associated with fear, mystery, the unknown, uncertainty, and self-reflection as well, because self-reflection is something, and I've done a lot of this, and I guess because it's done in your own mind, it's done in your own time, whether you write out your own thoughts doing it or you let it out through creativity, singing, dancing, painting. But it's what I found is we have so much treasure within ourselves as individuals that there's so much work that we've got and so much that we can uncover within ourselves, the mystery. And it's such a beautiful thing to see new layers of yourself and to actually go through changes of, see yourself grow through one mindset to a next, a more positive from a negative stance and stuff like that as well. So the symbols of light and dark across cultures have various meaning. So for some cultures, the summer solstice is seen as a time of bringing light, both physically and metaphorically, as the days reach their longest and brightest point. And the winter solstice, it represents the moment of the longest darkness, the longest night, where communities come together to embrace the quiet introspection and the hope for the return of light. So this battle between light and darkness is forever played out in nature, between night and day, and some places have longer night cycles than others, and some places naturally have longer day cycles and different weather cycles as well. So the symbolism of light and darkness and cycles is hidden and sown visibly across nature, serving as a reminder of the cyclic cycle of life and the constant balance between opposing forces that not only exist in our universe but exist within each and every single one of us. In some cultures, special foods and drinks are consumed depending on the region and the traditions, but the foods chosen typically across the world to be eaten during the summer solstice are chosen to reflect the abundance of the season. So whether it be the harvest from your own garden or farmland, or in Scandinavia, for example, it's common to indulge in a feast that includes wild berries, freshly harvested vegetables and grilled meats. In parts of Eastern Europe, people enjoy traditional dishes such as busk, pierogies and desserts. Additionally, beverages like mead, herbal teas and fruit-infused cocktails are often shared among friends and family during these festival gatherings. The selection of special foods and drinks are not only chosen because they nourish the body, but also because of their symbolic meaning that represents the interconnectedness of nature and humanity's gratitude for the bountiful summer season. And not only that, the fact that we need nature to survive. We need it for oxygen, for food, for water and so on. Without nature we wouldn't be able to survive really, but we see weeds and everything growing, so I think nature would actually survive okay without us, but we need nature to survive. So it's about giving thanks for the seasons and what they do actually provide to sustain our life. And I know in our world with smartphones and technology and stuff, we can forget that without the trees, that how oxygen supply, we would be nothing, so this is why we need to respect our climate. So many cultures have different superstitions. In Celtic traditions, the summer solstice is known as Litha, which is considered a time when the veil between the human world and the spirit world is at its thinnest. Bonfires were lit to ward off and are still lit by some cultures to symbolise the triumph of light over darkness. Similarly, in Native American cultures, the solstice is viewed as a sacred time for connecting with nature and giving thanks for the earth's abundance. Rituals and ceremonies are often performed to honour the sun and seek blessings for a fruitful harvest to come. And, such cultural beliefs, superstitions, whatever you call them, not only add richness to the celebration of the summer solstice, but also provide a deeper understanding of the many diverse ways in which different societies and culture perceive and interact with the natural world around us. To some people, a tree is just a tree. To some people, it's an inconvenience. To others, it's a life-giving energy because of the oxygen it helps produce. So other cultures do parades and outdoor processions. So carnivals and these lively and colourful events serve as a way for communities to come together and rejoice in the abundance of light and warmth that the solstice brings. People can be, seen marching through streets or dancing in sync, adorned in traditional or colourful attire, carrying symbolic objects, and music can fill the air as bands and sound systems play lively tunes, and spectators line the streets to witness the people in all their costumes doing all their celebrations, bringing in the summer solstice and celebrating it. So these parades and processions not only showcase the different cultural, religious and national traditions and artistry, but also serve as a form of collective expression and a way to honour the sun's energy and life-giving presence during, this promising time of year. Without the sun, many crops would not survive, even though it does bring troubles. But so now I'm just going to talk about some of the ways that summer solstice was celebrated across the world in ancient times. So as I said, in many cultures, the solstice was seen as a symbol of strength and power, and in cultures such as the ancient Maya, Aztec and Inca, the sun played a central role in their religion and was revered as a god. From Stonehenge to ancient Mayans, the summer solstice has been an important marker in spiritual and religious communities, and they believe that the sun's movement was responsible for the seasons, and the summer solstice represented the sun's triumph over darkness. So, for example, in ancient Egypt, the summer solstice marked the annual rising of the star Sirius, which was associated with the flooding of the Nile and the beginning of the year. Many other cultures, including the ancient Greeks and Romans, also celebrated the summer solstice with festivals and rituals, and it was regarded as a time of renewal, abundance and the celebration of Earth's bounties. So, putting Norse mythology first under the spotlight, the summer solstice is and was associated with the falling of the goddess Sunna from the sky. So Sunna, the goddess, was the personification of the sun, and in Norse mythology, the summer solstice is also known as midsummer, and according to the myth, during midsummer festivals, Sunna falls from the sky into the arms of her waiting lover, the god of fertility. Midsummer is a festival dedicated to Sunna and Thor, among other deities. The rituals associated with midsummer include bonfires, feasting and dancing, and the celebration of midsummer is and was still believed to ensure a bountiful harvest, protection from evil spirits and good luck for the coming year. And in Norse mythology, the summer solstice is also closely tied to the cycle of life, death and rebirth, and the falling of sun from the sky represents the death and rebirth of the sun as it begins its gradual descent into darkness into the winter solstice. So the summer solstice is associated with new beginnings and growth and abundance, because the summer is the time of the year when the crops are ready for harvest, and this mythology and Norse mythology reminds us that the importance of celebrating and honouring the power of the sun and the cycle of life that it represents. In Greek mythology, Apollo was and is the god of music, poetry and prophecy, and the sun. He was known to represent both good and evil, so as you can see, the theme of good and evil runs across all different cultures in terms of the summer solstice and the winter solstice and the equinoxes as well. But yeah, so Apollo achieved his ultimate victory over the serpent known as Python, which was seen as a symbol of darkness, chaos and death. And again, another myth showing the triumph over darkness by using light. In South America, the summer solstice wasn't seen as a time of cleansing and new beginnings, purification. Throughout these cultures, specific costumes and traditions may vary, but the underlying belief is that the energy of the sun in the natural world is at its peak during the summer solstice and can be used to bring positive change into people's life. And common symbols associated with summer solstice include sunflowers, fire, water and yellow and gold, often used to represent the sun in ritual celebrations in South America. And now a bit more about ancient Egypt. As I said, the annual flooding of the Nile was tied to the star Sirius, and Egyptian culture had a very rich heritage of gods and goddesses. So to Egyptians, the new year started at the start of the summer solstice and then right up into the next summer solstice. So to celebrate this occasion, the people of Egypt would make offerings to their deities, acknowledging their importance and seeking their blessings for the coming year. These offerings could be in the form of food, drinks or any other valuables, and were intended to appease the gods, to ask for their favour, so that they ensure that you are continually protected and given guidance by them, so that you'll be guided to the best things for you and your family throughout your life. So again, in Egyptian culture, it was connected to religious beliefs, the summer solstice, and it was a vital part of their culture because it was their new year as well. And they had a real strong connection to the natural world and the divine forces that governed the natural world. So in Native America too, they had and still have a great connection to Mother Earth, and they do a variety of ceremonies such as the sun dance. And to the Native Americans, it is a powerful force representing life, vitality and abundance. Regardless of the tribe, many Native American tribes incorporate fire into their celebrations at summer solstice, and also light, music and dance to honour and use the sun's energy and power. And the sun dance is highly symbolic and sort of like spiritual ceremony that involves fasting, prayer and various forms of self-sacrifice. Participants dance around the tall pole that represents the sun, and the ritual is believed to renew the cosmic balance and ensure the continued life and abundance of the tribe. And this ceremony, the sun dance, is just one example of how Native American tribes recognise and celebrated the significance of the summer solstice, and they still do the different dances depending on the tribes, as I said before. And of course, different tribes have different elements of their rituals as well. In ancient Maya, the summer solstice is and was a 4-day festival known as Intiraymi, Intiraymi, and it's a celebration of the sun. And in terms of Mayan culture, the sun played a significant role in their religion and way of life also. And again, a lot of music, dancing, feasting and religious ceremonies and rites were performed by shamans and still are today, and purification rituals, making offerings to the sun god and performing traditional dances that were believed to bring harmony into the world. The summer solstice was and still is of great importance in the Maya culture, as it marks the beginning of the new agricultural year, and the blessings of the sun were essential to ensure abundant harvests. And as I said, still today people still celebrate the Mayan tradition and pay kind of respect to the sun that sustains them. And in African cultures, Traditional dance, music and feasting is used during the solstice, and traditional ceremonies and events to mark this special day are used. And the way the solstice is celebrated varies from community to community, but its commonality across all African cultures is the celebration of life and the power of the sun. And many traditional African dances, songs and feasting are done throughout the community to bring them together and to, spread joy and happiness. In terms of English people throughout the ages, a lot of the ways that English people did and do celebrate the summer solstice are rooted in the ancient Celtic celebration of Alban Hythin, which marked the year's longest day, and the English believed that lighting bonfires would protect people from evil spirits and bring good fortune. And in recent times, the large festivals are taking place at Stonehenge. They still go, queues to get there and see and get at the right spot where people gather to see the sunrise. During this festival, people camp out and enjoy music, entertainers and other attractions, and the summer solstice is still a vibrant tradition in certain parts of the country and throughout certain pagan and spiritual practitioner communities as well. In Canada and North America, again, in Canada, the National Indigenous Peoples Day is celebrated on the 21st of June and often coincides with the summer solstice. So many ceremonies and events take place depending on, the city and the town and stuff. And people, for instance, in New York, gather to practice yoga and welcome the start of summer. Native American tribes such as the Navajo and Hopi celebrate the summer solstice through traditional dances and rituals to mark the beginning of the growing season. So as you can see, the myths and symbolism around the summer solstice vary greatly, but the common themes across all cultures across the world include light, fertility, abundance, the sowing of light over darkness. People use feasts, bonfires, rituals, dancing, celebrating alone, or doing spiritual cult rituals, or doing, meditation on their own. Ultimately, the longest day of the year across cultures is a time of reflection and, being prepared for the harvests to come. So also we've seen that people celebrate the summer solstice in diverse ways. In Scandinavian countries such as Sweden and Norway, people gather around live bonfires to commemorate Midsummer's Eve. And in indigenous communities in North America, such as the Lakota Sioux, they hold sacred ceremonies during the summer solstice, honouring the connection between the earth and the sun. And these ceremonies often involve traditional dances, storytelling, and offers of prayers and gratitude for the abundance of nature. And also in parts of Africa, like Ghana and Nigeria, the summer solstice is celebrated with vibrant festivals that showcase local music, dance and artwork, paying homage to the sun's life-giving energy and its importance in, farming cycles, agricultural professions, and, the fact of we need the earth, we need its oxygen, its water, its soil to grow our food, basically, So the diverse costumes that people wear and the different traditions that people use to celebrate the summer solstice reflect the rich cultural heritage of the different regions of the earth, but also demonstrate the universal human fascination and reverence for, nature and, the solstices. So now I'm just going to talk about the personal rituals that individuals can do during the summer solstice. So you can celebrate with your own little personal bonfire, whether it's lighting a candle, and a sort of like creative ritual. As I said, the bonfire represents the light and warmth of the sun, and the ritual you can choose can be simple or complex, but your focus would be on, being creative and letting that inspiration that comes from your meditative or relaxed state or whatever state you're in come to you. You can make a collage or a vision board of your dreams and goals, write a letter to yourself, your future self, or to your younger self, about what you want to manifest in the next 6 months or year or 2 years, 5 years. You can dance and sing around the bonfire with your friends and family if you want. Whatever you choose to do, make sure it feels authentic and meaningful to you. And celebrating with a bonfire and creative ritual is a beautiful way to honour the power of the sun and welcome the transformative energies of the summer solstice into your life. You could do some drumming, chanting and dancing. These activities have long been used in spiritual and cultural rituals as a way to connect with the rhythms of nature and music. Chanting, dancing, making sounds, finding your own sound. We've all got a tune, or some of us have many tunes, but finding that chant that for some of you it could be a word like love, peace, creativity, wisdom, freedom, and for others it can just be like a sound like a la or a da or something like that. And chanting can help you focus your mind and bring about joy and happiness, promote inner peace. Drumming can also lead you into a meditative state. Dancing, whether you're alone or in a group, can help you release any pent-up energy and connect your body and spirit and your mind. So whether you dance or partake in drumming, chanting or singing on your own or with other people in your own backyard, wherever, it can be a powerful way to celebrate the solstice, for you to connect with the season's energies. Some of you could also take time out to appreciate beauty, especially the beauty of nature at the time of the solstice, and just spending time in nature can help you feel more peace and gratitude and make you connect more with the trees, with the grass, with the birds, with the sounds, with the smells. You can take a walk in a nearby park, or in your garden, or go on a hike in woodland, or take a trip around the historical solstice site, taking notice of the flowers blooming and the warm sun on your skin, and just the winds caressing you as well. And these simple acts of appreciation can help you tap into the deeper meaning and energy of the summer solstice. Some of you may create a special place with candles and incense. And candles represent the element of fire, which is connected to transformation and enlightenment, and incense that can represent the element of air, connected with mental clarity and communication. So, for example, you could find a comfortable and quiet space indoors or outdoors, place your candles and incense throughout your area, and focus on the flame and the scents as you set your intentions for the solstice and stare into the flame. You may also want to meditate or perform other spiritual practices. And the flame of the candle not only brings you light and warmth, but symbolises personal illumination and growth. And the incense represents purity and harmony, helping to clear negative energy and create a sacred space. This ritual can be performed alone and with others, and adapted to your own unique beliefs and preferences of smells and crystals, tarot cards, whatever. And be cautious while working with candles and incense, and practice fire safety. Keep candles away from flammable objects and never leave them unattended. And use a fireproof incense container and ensure it's properly put out before you leave the area. And just make sure that you use proper care and intention, and creating a special space with candles and incense and anything else you feel like can be powerful and meaningful. Another ritual you can use is creating new intentions and planting new dreams, reflecting on what you have achieved and what you need to let go of so you can move on and make more progress. Even if you haven't, started the work of, understanding your psychological, emotional, spiritual traumas or whatever else you want to work on in your life, now is the time. It's never too late. Whether you're in your 40s, 50s, 60s, if you want to change, if you want to process your childhood and all the other hurts and move on and create a new life for yourself or a new mindset for yourself, now is a perfect opportunity to set new intentions and plant new dreams that align with your soul's purpose. You could do an esoteric ritual such as writing down your intentions on a piece of paper and burying them in the earth, allowing the energy of the solstice to infuse your dreams with vitality and strengthen your inner resolve. Just like the farmers plant seeds in the ground, burying your intentions in the ground after you have written them down is like planting the seed for your dreams to grow and flourish. The energy of the summer solstice amplifies this process, making it the perfect time to set new intentions and manifest your deepest desires. And remember, it's important to note this actually, that setting intentions involves more than just writing them down. You must also take daily action towards achieving your goals. Remember, you are co-creating with the universe, and when you take aligned actions, words and thoughts towards your dreams, the universe will respond in kind. So take some time out during this summer solstice to reflect on what you truly desire in life, write down your intentions with clarity, be specific, and then bury them in the earth with trust and faith that they will come to reality, fruition, into actuality, into your life if you take daily steps to achieve your dreams and work through your psychological, emotional, spiritual traumas, learning to look after your physical health needs and finding ways to become, internally stable, financially, emotional, psychologically and spiritually stable, and not comparing your journey to others but committing to your own personal journey and reaching out for the tools that can help you nurture your garden of dreams. And as you tend to your inner garden of dreams, also remember to take care of your outer world. So nourish your body with healthy foods, spend time with nature, exercise enough for you, your body type and needs, connect with your loved ones and allow yourself to rest and rejuvenate. And by taking care of yourself on all levels, you can create the space for your intentions to grow and thrive. And remember, hard work is part of the manifestation as well, and continuous daily effort and getting back up after each fall, because the only guarantee to success is many failures. So yeah, also another ritual you can do at the time of the summer solstice is spending some time in nature. So meditation has been around meditation is a practice that has been around for thousands of years and is known to help reduce stress, improve mental clarity and focus, and increase overall well-being. And when we meditate during the summer solstice, we can tap into the sun's powerful energy and use it to nourish our mind, body and soul. Simply find a quiet, comfortable place to sit and focus on your breath and try to clear your mind of any distractions and allow yourself to immerse yourself in the present moment fully. You could also use this time to set intentions for the upcoming season or to reflect on your personal growth over the past year. Spending time in quiet reflection during the summer solstice can bring a sense of peace and renewal to your life. You can also take time to connect with the divine by thinking about a ritual, creating your own ritual, which can include meditation, prayer or communion with nature to connect with the energy of the sacred within and around you. Taking a nice bath, preparing a nice meal, just really setting out the different stages. Maybe you want to start with some chanting, then some drumming, then some dancing, some meditating, some burying things in the ground. Take time to prepare your own ritual that allows you to reflect on your spiritual path and intentions for the upcoming seasons. So whether you choose to perform a traditional ritual, create your own, taking time to connect with the divine can provide a sense of peace, clarity and purpose in your life, and whatever the divine means to you. For some of you, the divine is God, for others it's nature, for others it's technology. Another way you can honour the summer solstice is by practicing gratitude and just giving thanks for the life-giving energy that comes from the sun. And as you reflect on the blessings in your life, remember to acknowledge the power of the sun and its vital importance to all living things on the earth, from the weeds to the human beings to the weed plants, So with a sense of gratitude in mind, you can find a deeper sense of connection to the natural world around you and celebrate the transformative energy of the summer solstice in a meaningful and uplifting uplifting way. And just remember, it's important to remember the true magic of the summer solstice lies within you, within ourselves, by embracing the dualities within our personality, our strengths and weakness, our light and dark within ourselves, and communicating authentically with ourselves and others. We can use the power of the summer solstice to manifest growth and change into our life. Yeah, we can use the energy of the summer solstice to shed any negative patterns or beliefs that no longer serve us, embracing new opportunities for personal and spiritual growth with an open mind and heart, letting go of the past and the time that's gone. You can never get that back, but you can make peace with your past and create a better future for yourself, if it is in the most important place, I would say, inside of you, inside your thought patterns, reducing those toxic thoughts that you have that beat yourself up, and learning to manage your psychological, emotional and spiritual health issues. It's important to let go of any limiting beliefs or negative patterns that are holding you back, and by embracing both the light and dark aspects of yourself, you can find balance and harmony within. Spiritually, it's a time of reflection and gratitude for the gifts that will be bestowed upon you, given to us by the sun over the coming year. Our food, the water, the oxygen. You may think the sun does nothing to me but cause me trouble, but it does a lot for you. So yeah, all in all, the summer solstice emphasizes the duality of life, reminding us that light cannot exist without darkness. The summer couldn't exist without winter, and each moment brings with it the potential for growth and decline. It's a reminder to embrace both light and the shadow sides of our lives and witness the beauty and balance in all things. And because the sun reaches its highest point in the sky, casting strong rays of light over the earth on the spiritual esoteric levels, this heightened energy is said to bridge the visible and invisible realms, allowing us to tap into our intuition and receive insights from the cosmic realm. And as the veil between the physical and spiritual world thins, we are provided with the opportunity to connect with our higher selves, gain clarity and set intentions for the new cycle of the coming year, if you do your years summer to summer. So yeah, the summer solstice reminds us to tap into our inner wisdom and trust our intuition as we navigate through the unknown, the uncertainty of life, and trust that by getting outside of our comfort zone, new life, new grounds, new seeds that we plant will grow into wonderful flowers, and allow ourselves to be guided by the sun and nature's energy as we awaken ourselves to deeper insights and allow our soul's path to guide us forward on our own journey. So the summer solstice is a critical time for many cultures across the world. Many people have different rituals that they perform. Different cultures have different traditions that they follow. There's many esoteric, spiritual, psychological and astrological meanings and ways of acknowledging as I've gone through them, the summer solstice. So whether it's through bonfire, chanting mantras, setting intentions, or simply spending time in nature, there are many ways to connect with the energy of this powerful celestial event. And ultimately, the most important thing to do is to listen to your intuition and choose the practices, the tools that resonate with you the most to create a meaningful and transformative experience. If you do a summer solstice ritual, some people do them throughout the summer, every 20th to 21st, 22nd of each month, July and August, and right up into the autumn solstice as well. So if you want to do that, you can doubly tap into the magic of the summer solstice and embrace the abundance and vitality that it brings, and align yourself with the natural rhythms of the universe. So here are some questions that you can ask yourself during the summer solstice. So what am I grateful for in my life? How can I let go of any negative thoughts or emotions? What new experiences or challenges do I want to embrace in the coming months? How can I better connect with nature and the environment around me? What areas of my life need renewal or revitalization? How can I bring more joy and playfulness into my daily routine? What relationships in my life need attention or nurturing? How can I cultivate inner peace and a sense of calm? even though there's chaos in day-to-day life. So, how can you look after your psychological, emotional, spiritual traumas and your physical health issues, and balance your financial stability across your lifespan? What lessons from your past, management or mismanagement of these areas that you can learn from, so that you can provide stability across all areas of your life for yourself. Ask yourself what has been holding you back from achieving your goals, and how can you overcome the obstacles that get in the way each and every time you try to change your life around, whether it's a new healthy eating plan, exercise, looking after your overall health and well-being, and reducing your self-destructive habits or addictions such as drug or alcohol addictions. And remembering, it's not about shaming, it's about being truthful. We all have weaknesses, we all struggle with one addiction or another. It's nothing to be ashamed of. So just asking yourself, how can you improve your addictive nature, manage it and understand it, and get to the root causes of it, and improve your physical, spiritual, emotional and psychological well-being. Also, asking yourself, what creative projects or hobbies can you do over the coming months to help you understand your psychological, spiritual and emotional traumas, or just to help you express and live and have fun, So what sort of creative things, whether it's creating music, producing, designing games, AI, art, writing, what is it that can make you feel the sense of, I'm using my creative energy correctly for me, and no, you can't just put it all into work. You must have some fun, even if you're all 70% work and 30% fun. Fun is important. So yeah, also you can ask yourself, how I can express gratitude and appreciation for the natural world around me. How can I reduce my environmental impact and live more sustainably to, make sure that the earth can keep giving us all oxygen and the water and the soil that produces the food, helps the food grow that we all need to live, yeah? And maybe ask yourself stuff like, how can I practice mindfulness and presence more in my daily life? What self-care practices can I incorporate into my routine to promote emotional and mental well-being? How can I develop deeper connections with my community and support those around me? What fears or limiting beliefs do I need to release to live a more fulfilling life? How can I honour my ancestors or cultural traditions during this time of year? What aspects of myself do I need to embrace and celebrate fully? How can I make the most of the longer days and warmer weather to enjoy life to the fullest? Do I have negative thoughts or emotions holding me back, and how can I overcome those and my toxic ways of relating to myself and others? What new experiences or challenges do we want to embrace in the coming months? Also, asking yourself how you can leave your comfort zone and explore the unknown and be more open to, uncertainty in your life. So yeah, whatever questions, you can search online for more. Ultimately, it's essential for you to reevaluate, take stock, self-reflect of where you are, and identify areas of growth on the mind, body and soul levels that you need, and make a strategic plan to move forward. And just remember that negative thoughts and emotions can be challenging to let go of, so can self-destructive habits, toxic relationships and addictive behaviours and thoughts as well. So it's essential for your mental and emotional well-being to seek out tools to help you and professional help if need be, and don't be ashamed for needing help. We all need support from time to time. You may consider practicing mindfulness or seeking, just as I said, all the tools and resources you need to help you if you are struggling. So yeah, over the coming months, consider embracing new experiences and challenges that will help you grow as a person. And this can involve trying new hobbies, travelling to new places, or learning a new skill to better connect with nature. Take walks outside, visit local parks and gardens, or even start your own garden. Remember to take time to appreciate the beauty and wonder of the world around you. And in the areas of life where you feel stagnant or unfulfilling, challenging, consider ways to renew and, revitalise your life. And this can involve setting new goals, seeking out new experiences, and opportunities at work or in your personal life, or just simply finding ways to inject more joy and excitement into your daily routine. So yeah, that's the end of this very, very, very all definitive guide to the summer solstice, which I will update from time to time. So thanks for listening, and happy summer solstice, or thank you. So yeah, that's the end of this special of the summer solstice.